Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Training camp continues for the New York Jets, and the Azzy Awards wrap up. Dylan Tereman's going to join us. We're going to talk about some of the breakout stars from Jets camp, and then the top moment from Charles Gorman over the last calendar year will be voted on in today's final Azzy Award category. I put the tux on and everything. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, AG's first training camp with the New York Jets is underway.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quentin Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, here on a Wednesday, show number 2 on the day. The top Charles Gorman moment will be voted on in the Azzies coming up. So it might be the last day, but I put on my tuxedo and I'm ready to roll. Plus, I'm ready to talk about the New York Jets, and we bring on a good friend to the show. Make sure everyone subscribes to his channel. Dylan Tereman joins us. Now, Dylan, off day for the Jets. You played golf today. We'll get to that. But, man, training camp off to a great start. And I'm feeling a sense of pride from the fan base starting to come back a little bit. Some optimism. Aaron Glenn having that effect on people.
Yeah, I don't know if it's entering in your room as well. I know we're virtual here, but I'm starting to smell 7, 8 wins maybe even. This is really intriguing. All the optimism coming out of camp. We're 6 days in, so we can't put the cart in front of the horse. But, dude, there's nothing but positives. And like you said, day off for the Jets means I get to hit the golf course. So can't complain about today. I'm glad you saved the best for last with the Azzies. I'm truly honored to get to break down all the Gorman moments from the last 12 months here. So this is going to be a fun show, dude.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And why don't we do a giveaway during the show? Justin Fields jersey. We give that away at the end of the show. So gift the channel membership for your chance to win a Justin Fields jersey ahead of the season. And why don't we start, before we talk about specific players, just with the Aaron Glenn influence so far, Dylan. I mean, some of the comments from the players have been really revealing just about the differences between Glenn and Saleh for sure, but just his influence being felt. You could see it. What have you made of Aaron Glenn's start to being the Jet head coach overseeing his first training camp?
I'm super excited. I mean, when the beat reporters are saying they haven't seen certain things going on at One Jets Drive in the last, decade and a half, and it's as simple as a tackling drill, it kind of just tells you how low the bar has been set over the past couple years with this franchise. So again, it's not to get overly optimistic or overly hyped about Aaron Glenn, but you can see him coming in, immediately making an impact on these practices. The players are buying into it too. It's not like the coach is coming in as like a hard ass and the players don't want to buy in because they just don't want to put out the effort. You're getting a full buy-in from these players. And you kind of hinted on it. A lot of players, specifically on the offense, are talking about how everything has changed. They actually want to come to work. They're in a better mood when they are at the facility. So yes, it is taking a lot of shots at the last regime. And hopefully we get out of this era soon where we're comparing Glenn to Saleh. But for right now, everything we're talking about is so positive coming out of, like, as far as the messaging, and even the defensive guys talking about it's the hardest they've ever practiced since college. Like, that's a beautiful feeling for the Jets to just be getting back to the basic fundamentals of football, which are running, blocking, and tackling. If the Jets can excel in those 3 areas, yes, we're going to smash that 5.5 win total that Vegas set for us. So I'm super hyped about the messaging, just listening to the quotes, listening to AG at the presser. His back and forths with Rich Cimini are great. So I don't want to put too much into it again, but this is a really good start for the Jets so far.
Even Glenn just pushing back on the Bill Parcells stuff, I think is great. Like making it clear that he's his own guy. I think that matters because the media is going to keep running with the Bill Parcells storylines, and I get why it's compelling. And he was under Parcells as a player and everything that Parcells did to turn the Jets around. So I get why they keep going back to that. But I like Glenn putting his foot down yesterday, basically being like, I'm my own person. I'm Aaron Glenn. I'm going to do things my way. Like, Glenn is very comfortable in his shoes up there, in his own shoes. And it's all positives. They got to win games. We get that. But I think if you're a Jet fan, you're allowed to be cautiously optimistic that you might have actually hired a real coach who could maximize the talent that does still exist on this team. This team is not bereft of talent. That's what made last year so frustrating because the players themselves were not the biggest issue. So much of it was how everything was handled from a coaching standpoint and the ownership getting involved. It was just so frustrating. And I'm hoping that, Glenn and this staff, they're the right people to steer the ship and turn it around.
Yeah, this certainly isn't 2021, right? With the first year of Saleh. Like, Glenn has a boatload of talent. So the expectation should be higher. The hype should be higher, right? Therefore, the production and the output should be higher. We should not be sitting through a 2-win, a 4-win season with this Jets team like we did the first couple seasons of Saleh. To me, it's almost like if you don't win 7, which is still almost, to me, it feels like it's not enough because I hate having double-digit losses. But my expectation for AG and this team is 7 wins. Like, if they get more, obviously I'm excited. But if they get less, like, I will be super worried about this coaching staff as far as what they can do. Of course, if it looks like Justin Fields is the crutch of this team and everybody else around him looks good and it's him that's holding it down like we saw with Zach Wilson, then you adjust. But if the whole team doesn't look great and they only win 5 or 6 games, that's a huge indictment immediately on the coaching staff because of all the talent here. So it's not 2021. We have a lot of players here. You've mentioned it, all pros on every level of the defense, multiple candidates that could be Pro Bowl caliber players littered throughout this offense and defense. So, and hey, we just got a kicker back who made the most field goals in the last 2 years and has been the best thing we've had consistently since our playoff drought started.
If you're watching live right now, click the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We talk Jets each and every day, twice a day on the program. A little programming update, though. I do want to share this. I will be live tomorrow at 9 a.m., so an early start time for our first show. That's because the next 2 days I'm filling in for Michael K, hosting the Michael K Show on ESPN New York. So trade deadline day tomorrow, Yankees, Mets, certainly a huge topic of conversation. So I'm in for Michael K tomorrow and Friday from 1 to 3 on ESPN New York. So to accommodate for my radio schedule, the first show on the day will be at 9 a.m. on both Thursday and Friday this week. That's tomorrow and Friday. So a little PSA for those of you who are expecting a show tomorrow morning. Get up a little earlier as we'll be live at 9 a.m. All right, a couple memberships to shout out here. Phantom Green and White is the first to gift and join our Justin Fields jersey raffle at the end of the show. Our second member to gift is Jess. So both Jess and Phantom Green and White are in the Asmaniac raffle. And then Shooter with a super chat here, in for 5 with this $20 super chat. He writes in, Brees don't feel like he's part of the Jets' future. Kinda stinks. On the topic of Brees, it's relevant because we're going to talk about some breakout stars, and I'll spoil one of them, Braylon Allen, who's in the thumbnail, if you couldn't tell, Jet fans. He's one of them. I don't think we could sit here and say Brees is definitively not part of the Jets' future. I think Brees is just honest when he's up there and asked about his future that, hey, this regime didn't draft me, and I got to prove myself to them. If Brees has an amazing year, and he's like the MVP of the Jets, which is possible given his talent and what the offense wants to be, the Jets could always use the franchise tag on him. Maybe they could sign him long-term, but I don't think it's like a foregone conclusion. This is Brees' last year with the Jets. Is it likely he's here beyond this year? I mean, maybe, maybe not. It depends how you feel about the season he's going to have, but I think there's been way too many, Braylon Allen's the running back now going forward, when Braylon Allen's played 1 year in the league. Brees Hall has already had a season where he was second in the NFL in yards from scrimmage. Like, let's not try and dismiss how good Brees could be when he's healthy and out there.
I'm muted, but I'm laughing while you're talking about that because this seems to happen a lot with our fan base. A player who is in a backup role comes in, potentially outperforms expectations or is doing well, and then all of a sudden we want to trade the top guy at the position on the depth chart. It's okay if we don't love Breece Hall for the long-term future of this team, but it seems like for this year at least, Breece is going to be around. So to Shooter's point, maybe he's not here in 2026, and beyond, but there's a world, like you said, where Breece does well. They have a bit of a committee, and Breece Hall earns himself either the franchise tag or, in the Jets, financial benefit, a 2-year deal with the Jets where it's worth 2 years worth of the tag. And then your cap hit is less than what the tag would be, because once you tag a player and he signs it, it's fully on your books. And then it's on you to work out an extension later on. So I don't want to be tagging Breece Hall and paying the entire thing on the cap next season. I would rather give him a 2-year deal where even if he's not on the team in 2027, you have guarantees in 26, some guarantees in 27 that are about equal to what 2 times the franchise tag would be, maybe even a little less based on his performance this year, and you rock out that way. I'm not ready to, just write off Breece Hall or ascend Braylon Allen up the depth chart, although he is my number one standout who is not AG and the coaching staff. They were my first stock up, the coaching staff, which we talked about, but Braylon Allen was my next stock up player. So I'm very excited about what Braylon can do, but I'm not ready to put Breece Hall on the trade block or say that he's bad. Maybe, he doesn't have the best season we anticipate, but I don't want to dismiss what Breece can do for us this year.
Well said. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Fields jersey raffled away at the end of the show. Big Loyal checks in with a $20 super chat, which is 5 channel memberships. Hey now, Aaron Glenn, breath of fresh air in the offseason. Now it needs to carry over to the regular season and equate to wins. Love this team and the identity we are trying to create. Hopefully, we are not let down. The Jets and their fans being let down, something that never happens. Big Loyal. Look, I agree with him, though, right? Like, it does feel like there's going to be an identity for this team. Glenn wants them to be tough. He wants them to be physical. He wants them to run the ball. A lot of coaches say that. They can't actually deliver on that. It does feel like Glenn's getting this team ready to be able to do that. They have the personnel on the offensive line to run the hell out of the ball. They have the running backs. We're about to talk about that more in depth. Defensively, there's talent there to still be a top 10 defensive unit. If they play together as a team and they're coached better, they can probably overcome the lack of depth next to Quinnen or some of the concerns at safety. Like, to me, there's just enough talent there where if they're properly coached, they can carry out that mentality that Glenn's preaching. So far, so good. I agree, Big Loyal.
Yeah, and I guess 2 caveats for this time of year when we're giving our analysis, because we have to pretty much say it every single time. If we're projecting a player's output, right? Like, if I think Justin Fields is going to throw 30 touchdowns, we're all assuming the caveat is he's healthy for 17 games, right? So the caveat to all of this optimism needs to be, it has to translate to wins, right? Like, that's obvious. And that doesn't really need to be stated, because we can be really optimistic and then all of a sudden somebody comes in and says, poo-poo, it doesn't matter. You got to win games. And like, we know all that, but there's still more to talk about with this team. And I'm not saying Big Loyal's, poo-pooing on our takes, but that's basically what it comes down to, is all the negative people that are like, yeah, you still got to go win games. Of course, but you can't go from A to Z, right? You got to go A to B, get the players to understand your message, communicate that to them. B to C, your captains like Quinnen Williams start trickling down that message to the rest of your roster. B to D, you go out on the practice field and you start doing a lot of things right. And so forth. We get to Z eventually, and that will be the wins. So I'm happy with, we might be on like stage E or G or F or whatever. And I'm ready to see how the long-term plays out without having to beat the head of like, oh, we got to win games. We got to win games. Of course we do.
David, super chat, cuts the line, cautiously optimistic about the upcoming season. There we go, David. Love that. I mean, Absolutely. Be optimistic. Be a Jet fan. Let's go. The Bat Fella says, Gibbs Montgomery equals Hall and Allen. Going to be fun. Ground and pound. Bring it back, baby. Bring it
Absolutely.
back. All right, Dylan, let's talk about some breakout stars from camp so far. Braylon Allen, to me, is the number one guy we got to discuss, because we were just talking about the running game. If he lives up to what we're hearing between him and Breece and this O-line that apparently, according to Robbie Sabo, who joined me yesterday, has looked good in run blocking, that's exciting, because that's the Jets' path to be a good football team. If you could run the ball effectively in today's NFL with the talent the Jets have on defense, and maybe Nick Folk can win those one-score games with his leg, you feel like this team could be a lot better than the 5-win team we saw last year for sure.
Yeah, Braylon to me is sort of becoming an X factor of this defense. At first, coming into offense, coming into the spring and summer, I thought it was going to be Brees because of how run heavy they were going to be. And then they started talking about Brees and they want to, put him out as a pass catcher as well, which now the focus comes on Braylon Allen in the backfield. And if you can do the RPO stuff and the zone read stuff with Justin Fields and Braylon Allen and have it hit just as hard as Brees Hall, I'll admit, I thought there would be a bit of a downtick going from Brees to Braylon in that category. But if the team is already showing that Braylon can hold on to that role just as well as Brees Hall can, then yeah, a couple weeks ago I said go split out Brees Hall, keep Braylon in the backfield and still run your zone stuff. You got a lighter box because a corner or a middle linebacker or a safety is going to go out with Brees potentially if it's man coverage. Now you have Braylon Allen running against the light box. I do want to shout out Joe Blewett. He did a really good, film breakdown of Braylon Allen, and he posted some highlights today on Twitter. And it looked like every time they got Brees or Braylon outside the tackle box and he could just one cut and go, he was actually pretty effective. Obviously, we know him to be the between the tackles downhill short yardage runner, but if he can become that wide zone runner as well and have success doing that too, then I'm really excited for Braylon Allen. So like I said before, he's my number one offensive stock up player. My true number one is AG and the coaching staff just for all the positives, but Braylon is my number one stock up offensive player. And this is a 1-2 punch that not many teams have. Batfella talked about it in the super chat. The Lions have it in Gibbs and Montgomery. The Jets might have something in like a B category version of Gibbs and Montgomery. Who else has a 1-2 punch at running back in this league? I can't really think of too many. So this could be the really special point of this offense, and I think number 0 is becoming an X factor for sure.
Speaking of Batfella, what is today's raffle? Batfella, glad you asked. It's a Justin Fields jersey, and I'll tell you what, Batfella, since you've already won a Justin Fields jersey on the show, if you enter and win, we'll send you a different jersey. We'll come up with something for the Batfella. Who am I to deny the greatness of a superhero like the Batfella? Let's see here. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Dylan, another breakout star I want to talk about with you, and we'll go from offense to defense. Will McDonald, man. I mean, he kind of broke out last year with 10.5 sacks, but it feels like he's playing at a different level this year. I read Brian Costello's recap of the first week of training camp, and he says every day McDonald's doing something that catches your attention. He says that he's been the best player in camp so far for the Jets. Year 3 for a pass rusher is typically that year when it all does really come together. I think Will McDonald could have 13 sack season. I don't think that's crazy if he's healthy. Like, I think playing with Quinnen and Jermaine being back and this defense allowing him to do more things than we haven't seen before, as Glenn alluded to with that answer about coaching. I don't know. I'm bullish on McDonald. I think he's going to have a monster season.
Yeah, wasn't that question something from AG where he wanted to answer, but I think it was Hughes or whoever was asking the question. AG started answering. He's like, it's coaching. He's like, that's all it comes down to. He's like, have you seen Will do that before? No, but it's coaching. He always had it in him. He's able to do it. Many of us watched Origins, right? They just had it come out for Will McDonald and Olu Fashanu, and now Michael Carter II comes out tomorrow. Will McDonald was playing basketball in high school. And then all of a sudden they were like, no, like you're 6 foot, whatever. We need you over here playing wide receiver on the football team. And wide receiver wasn't going great for him. So they also said, hey, let's throw you on the defensive line and you can, work at that position too. You're in high school playing football for basically the first time as a kid. And now you're, third year entering in the NFL. And all of a sudden you have really good coaches that are willing to teach you how to be the best at your position in terms of pass rush moves, speed and bend off the edge, probably stopping the run as well. They're going to help him read and react to the run game as well. I'm like, you said it, 12, 13 sacks for Will McDonald doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. And he was my number 2 defensive stock up player. There's one that I think has been doing better than him, but that's also because I thought Will McDonald had a really good second year. So him going to a very good third year is not as much of a breakout as I think this person could be. But Will McDonald, man, I mean, if JJ can't play for 6 weeks, let's just hypothetically say 6, Will McDonald needs to carry that workload on the defensive line. Like, it's him and Quinnen. So he's going to have a lot of work cut out for him in the beginning part of the season. And I think he's able to do it. He bulked up. He put on the weight. Is he a 3-down player every single game, all game for 4 quarters? Maybe not. And you're going to have to cycle in the Clemens and the Barons of the world and the Rashad Weavers potentially of the world. But Will McDonald, to me, Pro Bowl caliber potential. He's probably not going to get all pro because it's just a stacked position in the NFL if you think realistically, but 12, 13, 14 sacks, almost 1 sack a game for Will McDonald. Yes, that is definitely on the table if he stays healthy.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Black Gypsy joins the Justin Fields jersey raffle for 1. Let's go. I just want to play the McDonald answer again from Glenn because to me, this is what every Jet fan is hoping to hear from their head coach. So I know many of you have probably seen it, but you'll never get sick of watching it all month long.
We saw a lot of that. The speed last year, we saw a lot of with Will.
Yep.
The spins, the coming around the edge. The power that he put on, I don't know if you need the replay if you haven't seen it yet, but he went over him at one point. Is that even a new element to his game when you said he added some weight?
Coaching.
Is that now what he can do?
Coaching. It's coaching.
How so? Like, what do you mean?
Because he can do it. You just said he's never done it last year, right?
Not much.
Now you see him do it. It's just coaching. That's all it is.
Just coaching, Dylan. That's all it is.
That's all it is, right? And it seems so simple and like so minute, but it's a huge part of football. And I think I even took it for granted for the past couple seasons, thinking that, player-led teams are the best-led teams in the league. And to an extent, they are. If your locker room is led by the players and the leaders of that locker room, like the Quinnens, the Sauce, the Garretts, and then AG's getting you prepared on the field, that's a really good winning recipe. So I think the Jets have kind of figured out a good combination. And one thing that I think shouldn't be understated is his relationship with Woody Johnson. That is a huge element of all of this stuff. AG has a lot of room to play with, right? He's not on a short leash, and I think that is because he has a good relationship with Woody Johnson. And as far as we've seen publicly, Woody said he wants to be a better owner. It's yet to be determined if that's possible. But yes, this is what I'm talking about. When you have this type of relationship with your owner to head coach, a lot of things are going to be given to your head coach, right? More leniency with bringing in players, more leniency with getting your message across. I'm not saying AG was the catalyst for the new locker rooms, but this is all part of it, right? Woody wants to be a better owner. He's bringing in a guy that he trusts, that they have a good relationship. So that's the part of it that I think is understated so far.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Woody and Aaron Glenn, a bromance seen at One Jets Drive. Great photos from the New York Jets. They put out an entire photo album on their website of just Aaron Glenn. For those interested, go to Jets.com. And the Jets didn't pay me to say that. I'm just being nice because I want to be positive about our football team, Dylan. I want to be positive.
Yeah. August and like late July, this is the time to be positive, right? I understand there's some stick in the muds and some tanky Vs out there that really, don't like what the team is doing, and that's okay. But like for the neutrally, even-keeled fan, I feel like this is the time where everybody can be optimistic to an extent. Cautiously.
Yes. Purple Belt Mike is very optimistic. Oh, baby, yeah. $20 super chat. 5 raffle tickets for Mike and our Justin Fields jersey giveaway. Williamsboro, Sauce, Sherwood, Will McDonald, all pro. Welcome to the weapons of mass destruction defense, baby. The league ain't effing ready for this bleep. Mason Taylor, Rookie of the Year. G5, 12 touchdowns. Brees, 12 touchdowns. And Justin Fields, 3,500 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, where do we sign for this, Mike? And put down the bottle or the pipe.
Or the painkillers.
God. What's most realistic of this monstrous predictions that he has here?
I think the Williams brothers and Sauce getting all pro is the most realistic. Sherwood, I think it's tough, especially if Quincy were to get it. Will McDonald, like we talked about, it's just a loaded position. Like TJ Watt is a shoe-in, and then
Myles Garrett.
somebody else.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting somebody, but like those two are shoe-ins. So like, I don't know how many they have. I think if it's 3 or 4, I still don't think you have a chance. But so I would say the Williams brothers and Sauce. Mason Taylor, Rookie of the Year. That's really hard. It always goes down to quarterbacks and how they perform. Ashton Genty would probably be my number 1 pick right now for Rookie of the Year. And then Garrett 12, I would say 10. Brees 12, I would say hopefully total, more than 12 total touchdowns. And then Justin Fields, he asked me this, 3,500 passing or 950 rushing. And I took 950 rushing for Justin Fields. So I'd say just a tick under 3,500.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live right now and you just tuned in, you're probably saying to yourself, why is Jake Asman dressed like a maniac? Well, I would argue with that premise because I think I look great. But the Azzy Awards are coming to its conclusion. And ladies and gentlemen, the nominees are all related to Charles Gorman. The greatest Charles Gorman moment is the category. The 4 nominees for the Azzy are catfishing, shaving, couple at the diner, and Poopgate. All these iconic Gorman moments occurred over the last calendar year. 1 category left. Your vote determines who wins the Azzy Award. Ladies and gentlemen, voting for the Azzies is officially underway for the final time.
It's time for the Azzy Awards. Gotta get through Jets off season. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? These Asmaniac callers are legends. It's up to the chat. It's your time to vote. You gotta decide who's better. Asmaniacs drive the Jake Asman Show. That's why we gotta have these Azzy Awards.
Dylan, you're an Asmaniac. You're an Azzy Award winner as the best guest host. Your thoughts on one of the more difficult votes any person will have to cast in their lives, the top Gorman moment over the last calendar year.
While the intro for the Azzy Awards was playing, I tried to rank my 1 through 4 moments on this note card here. I'm not going to reveal it till the end of the show. I think there's an obvious one, but dude, the fact that we have so many top moments coming out of one Asmaniac himself, legendary stuff, man. And like I said at the top, I'm glad to be part of it. I can't wait to see how the voting happens. I have my numbers 1 through 4 on my note card, but I want to keep it a secret until I don't want to influence any voters.
I love it. I'll tell you what, we will play all of these towards the end of the show. So if you want to hold on to your vote and wait till the end, just as a reminder for each one, feel free. I can't do it now because this is a Jet show and we're talking Jets because the vibes are high. But at the end of the show, you'll get a chance to see each one before you cast your final vote. Jet Set Fool with a super chat. He cuts the line. How confident in our run defense this year, given the fact that our lack of depth in the front 7? I love the focus on tackling and fundamentals by Aaron Glenn, but how quickly can the guys get on board? Great question. Your thoughts on this, Dylan, because, of course, stopping the run was such a big issue last year, and we do have concerns with, hey, who's lining up next to Quinnen Williams in the base package on defense?
Yeah, right now it looks to be a guy who is hovering around 300 pounds in Byron Cowart. Rich Cimini said that he's projected to be a first and second down player, which would be the assumed rushing downs, right, for the defense. So I'm a little bit concerned still about the construction of the defensive line in terms of run defense. Obviously, we know last year the scheme kind of disregarded run defense, and that was really left up to the second level of the defense, the linebackers. I'm a little more optimistic that the scheme is going to help them play more physically, more aggressively in both categories, the pass and the run. So my, I guess, overall expectation for the defensive line is a slight downtick in pass rush production, but a slight uptick, actually maybe even a sizable uptick in run defense because of how bad we were last year. But again, Byron Cowart being the guy next to Quinnen Williams, according to Rich Cimini, who didn't even have Derek Nottie making his 53. Obviously very early projections yet, but that to me shows that guys like Fedarian Mathis, Leonard Taylor, Jay Tufele, the other defensive tackles he kept on to 53, they're going to have to step up in a big way. I was a huge proponent of Fedarian Mathis if he could stay healthy, because he's just one of the largest human beings at the position. Seems like he's going to have a chance. Obviously, Rich could be wrong, and they could keep Nadi and get rid of Tufele or Mathis, but it's a little bit concerning still with the construction of the D-line room, specifically toward run defense.
I think that's well said, and I think coaching is so important at that spot, because it's not like they drafted someone in a stacked defensive tackle draft that they're going to be able to just throw in there and let that guy learn next to Quinnen. So we shall see.
Hold on, I want to just, sorry, Briga asked in the comments, Nadi not making the roster. Rich Cimini put out his way too early 53-man roster projection, and it did not have Nadi on it. So you could take Rich's word however you want, but that's just what he's saying, and he's there every single day. He's very plugged in. So I would trust Rich that right now he's on the outside looking in, but I think he could still have a chance to make the roster.
Yeah, look, we haven't had the green and white scrimmage yet. We haven't had the preseason games yet, joint practices. So it's early, but, it is notable when, you do a roster projection and someone we all thought might have been the projected starter is now not making the team. So it's certainly notable.
One more thing that I do want to add. People might talk about the money that he's making. They signed Cowart 1 year, $1.4 million with no guarantees. Jay Tufele 1 year, $1.2 million with no guarantees, and Derek Nadi 1 year, $1.4 million with only $418,000 guaranteed. So all these guys are expendable if they don't think they can make the roster, and that's pretty much where the Jets wanted to live at this position.
It's the AsmanJake membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
The Lupman delivers for the people. 5 gifted memberships. Big loyal Zach Asman. How about Luppy gifting my brother? Aria Schneiden and John all receiving a membership. There's one other name that got a membership too, Dylan. And, this is a family show, so I don't know if I could say the name. The Pussy Assassin received a channel membership there from the Lupman. I broke the rule. I finally said it, people. All right?
You did.
I'm pulling out all the stops today.
I'm proud of you.
How does YouTube allow that username, by the way?
Some of the names you read, whether they're real or fake with some of these memberships, like, I don't know how a lot of them get approved by YouTube. But then, like, stupid things like my Tyler Johnson clips in my practice recap, they get shut down and they get copyright by YouTube. So I don't know, man. YouTube is a fickle, just like StreamYard, man. What is up with these streaming services, man? They don't make it easy for us. You guys think it's easy to sit in front of a microphone and just talk about a bad team, but there's technology stuff that we don't understand that gets in our way.
Oh, there's a lot of technology stuff that gets in the way. It is it is not great at all. I'll just never forget when we had an emoji last year that YouTube did not approve. We were not allowed to have this be a AsmanJake channel emoji. It was the Bobby Midnight butt on a stick emoji, but there's a guy named Pussy Assassin that's allowed to have that as his official YouTube name. How does that make sense?
Complete double standard.
It makes no sense. All right, as far as some other breakout stars from camp, we talked about so far for those tuning in, Braylon Allen and Will McDonald. I'm going to mention Andre Cisco. It feels like every time I follow along at practice, Cisco's making plays in coverage, on blitzes. I like the Cisco signing. I'm biased. I'm a Long Island guy like he was, but he's been good so far. That to me has a chance to be a really good kind of buy low type of move for Muji, bringing him in on a 1-year deal. He's an upgrade over Chuck Clark, excuse me. I think he's going to be starting opposite either maybe Malachi Moore or Tony Adams, but I think they upgraded at safety, and I think the returns with Cisco have been positive so far.
I promise, I don't know how this happened. Jake might have hacked my computer, but you have like my entire list right in front of you, and you're just going player by player on all my stock ups. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing, but Andre Cisco for sure. He was my number 1 defensive stock up player. When you're making 2 interceptions, a PBU, multiple PBUs all week at practice, you're the guy in the safety room as it currently stands right now. I know Tony Adams brings the energy and they're pretty excited about him. He's more of a box safety, right? I think, or like a little bit of a man guy in the box versus a tight end. Cisco to me is your free safety type who's going to roam sideline to sideline on the third level. He's going to be the last guy before allowing a touchdown. When you have interceptions and pass breakups already in camp, that's a great thing to me. And I know the defense always starts hotter than the offense, so you have to take it, each day at a time. But Cisco's making plays, man. If he can be 2022 or 2023 version of himself when he was in Jacksonville, where he had a combined 5 or 7 interceptions those last 2 years in Jacksonville, or 2022 and 2023, he had 7. 2024, he only had 1 interception, if I have that correct. So if he could get back to that form where he has 3 or 4 picks for this team, hell yeah, dude. I'm really excited. So I want to see Malachi Moore be the starter next to him. I would understand it if they started with Tony Adams, but Cisco to me is a sneaky candidate for a midseason extension here only on a 1-year deal in 2025.
I like that a lot. All right, Dylan, why don't you give a player? Because I don't want to steal another name from your list. So I can't be accused of doing such a thing if you go first for this one.
All right. So this one I like. I have more intel on the other person than it's a twofer, but Brandon Smith and Jamal Pritchett. One of these wide receivers is going to make the roster. They're very different wide receivers, and I think Pritchett would make it more from a special teams perspective. But Brandon Smith, with his frame, he's 6'2", 6'3", I think. He's been making good plays. Obviously, it's with the backups or the third strings. He's not really getting too many passes thrown to him from Justin Fields at this point into camp, but we're still early. And I feel like if they wanted to have a day where they rotated Brandon Smith in with the ones, I don't think it would be too much of a drop off from a guy like, Corley, which he's probably getting more run than Corley at this point. So Brandon Smith to me is an intriguing one. Do they have the numbers to be able to keep as many as 7 wide receivers? Maybe it's 6 wide receivers and they don't make it, but him and Jamal Pritchett, can Jamal Pritchett get Xavier Gibson off this roster and be the kick return, punt return primary guy? I don't know if he has both return sets in him, but we just talked about Cisco on special teams as well. So I'm excited about Brandon Smith and Jamal Pritchett. Not so in love with Malachi Corley so far because it just doesn't seem like he has a chance right now. So if Smith or Pritchett can make it, even if they're like a bring back to the practice squad immediately type guys, I think that's a really good sign for them.
The Human Fund enters the Asmaniac raffle for one. For those tuning in late, if you want a chance to win a Justin Fields jersey in white or green, get the membership and you're entered to win. Good luck to the Human Fund, who's the latest to join the raffle. Air Rozzy with a super chat, and then I got another player that I want your thoughts on that I think is breaking out so far. Air Rozzy says, why not try Corley at kick returner? New rule puts touchbacks at the 35 equals more returns. He's a yak king. Don't need elite route running for kick returns. Corley greater than Gibson, ? I've said this. Why don't they try Corley there? Dylan, your thoughts? Do we see this at all in the preseason?
Yeah, I would hope that they at least give him the chance, but has he also shown a willingness to do it? It's a two-sided conversation here. They could have asked him to play special teams and he says no. They could have asked him to play special teams and he's just not good. They might not have asked him to play special teams yet. I'm not exactly sure why they haven't. If there was a player on this offense who is built for the kick returns as they currently are in the NFL rulebook, it's Malachi Corley. They're just extensions of like run plays, the way you can block it up and do all those things. So if they're going to influence more returns, you got to get guys like him out there at least trying it. Another person I would try is like Isaiah Davis. I feel like he's another guy who could probably be a plus for you in the kick return game. So if Corley wants to have a chance, he needs to have health on his side. He needs to have a willingness to try new things if that's the case. So Corley's got a big uphill battle, but to this Super Chat's point, you have to find a role for him or he has to find the role himself.
Totally agree. Look, the fact that we barely have heard anything with Corley on special teams so far, I don't think bodes well for his chances of making the team.
No, he's the number one guy in my stock down just because we don't hear anything about him. He's currently getting outpaced and it seems like playing time with the ones by everybody except for Jamal Pritchett and Brandon Smith potentially. I wouldn't even be surprised if the beat reporters have seen Brandon Smith out there more often than Malachi Corley with the second or third team. So yeah, he's buried right now. And I don't know if that's all because of the injury that he suffered and missed OTAs and minicamp. I don't think if he's healthy at this point, you would just assume he's better than some of these guys. So we can't pinpoint what it is. I think it's more of an internal factor than it is just a pure playing football factor for Malachi Corley. And that's something that we won't get that information until he's probably no longer on this team.
Our weekly raffle prizes are the following: a signed Broadway Joe Namath jersey, a signed Nick Mangold jersey, and a signed DeBrickashaw Ferguson football. So if you don't win a daily prize, you're automatically entered to win a weekly prize. All right, we're going to get to your calls coming up here. And, of course, we're going to keep track of voting going on right now for the top Charles Gorman moment. It's our final Azzy Award category. A big shout-out to Boomtown and the committee for coming up with 24 total awards. But this is the last one. So vote for the final time in the Azzy Awards if you're just tuning in. Dylan, one final player that I had, Brandon Stephens. The perception was this guy stinks. Azzy Thomas is going to come in and take his job. And now, it seems like every day, Brandon Stephens is making plays. The Jets posted a video of him coming up with a pass breakup in coverage against Garrett Wilson, which is certainly notable. Seems like Brandon Stephens has had a good camp so far. Glenn raved about him when specifically asked about Stephens. We know the contract the Jets gave him. What are your thoughts on Brandon Stephens? Is he someone that you maybe have higher hopes for now based on the first week and change of camp?
Yeah, I think and a lot of people kind of accused AG of doing a little bit of lip service at the podium when it came to Brandon Stephens, but I don't think AG is the type of coach who will give lip service about a player and say, oh, we love him and he's everything we wanted him to be. I truly think if Brandon Stephens wasn't living up to the $12 million contract 6 days through training camp, AG would have said that when being asked. So the fact that he praised him in that moment was great. I think Stephens has had himself a really good camp. To your point, like he is a stock up. It might not be as his arrows pointing straight up like guys like Braylon or Will McDonald, but there is an upward trajectory with Brandon Stephens right now. I don't those plays like the Most play against Garrett Wilson, the back of the end zone extended catch from Mason Taylor, he was in coverage on both of those plays. And a lot of the comments on social media were like, get Stephens out of here. Azzy Thomas, he's the guy that we need to put in there. And Ricky New York, cover your ears a little bit. Maybe Azzy Thomas isn't ready, right? I've wanted him to be ready. Maybe he's just not. And I think Brandon Stephens is 93, 95% of each play doing a really good job. It's just the last 5%, right? He's not making the completion into a pass breakup. He's not turning the pass breakup into an interception, but he's almost there. He's doing a lot of the things that the coaching staff has asked of him, according to AG. And I do think that they're going to give him a good leash. We've talked about the opposing wide receivers that they play in the first month plus of the season. Brandon Smith has a good chance to be a dominant cornerback 2 in the first month of the season because their best wide receiver 2 that they face in the first month is Jalen Waddle. So I think there's a case for Brandon Stephens to very much be the starter all year, as much as I want Azzy Thomas to be the guy. But we do need to recognize that Stephens is definitely holding his own. Garrett Wilson is better than a lot of the receivers he's going to face. So when that play happened, I wanted to immediately see the other angle of the play because I can tell you from that little clip we saw, Stephens was in his hip pocket. And all Garrett did was have a late hands reaction to the catch, and he pulled it in, doing the Garrett Wilson stuff that got him $130 million, whatever, $121 million or whatever it was. So I'm really excited about Stephens. Again, I'm not going to put him on as long of a leash as, the coaching staff might, but I think he will hold his own more often than not this year.
If you're watching live, make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show in audio form in case you can't watch the full show. We post the full show as a podcast on Apple or Spotify every day. So if you ever miss a live show and you want to take the show on the go, it's easy to find wherever you get your audio podcast. Dylan Tereman is our guest. I put the link in for Dylan's channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to Dylan. Get him 1,000 subs so Mr. Tube could start paying him for his great insights on the New York Jets. Dylan's been killing it on his channel. He's over 500 subs now, so make sure you guys help him on his way to 1,000. Subscribe to Dylan's channel if you haven't done so already. We'll take your calls coming up. Another quick plug that we are doing a raffle at the end of the show. Justin Fields jersey is what we're giving away. Dylan, looks like you had a thought you wanted to share, so I defer to you.
I saw a question, and I have to always answer my guy Luppy. He asked in the chat a couple minutes ago, who's the upside down kid in the background? It's just a vinyl record of one of my favorite musicians / rappers, MGK. It's his Hotel Diablo album. It's meant to be upside down. I've gotten so many questions and comments about this. It is a vinyl record, but it is meant to be upside down. It is Machine Gun Kelly. So had to answer my guy Lupp there.
How about that? How about that? Hey, shout out to Chef Nico, who's in the house. Chef Nico is the man. I always see him at Yankee games because Chef Nico is basically the reason why the Legend Suites have the best food. If anyone's ever been in a Yankee Stadium Legend Suite. So shout out to our guy, Chef Nico, who's tuned in. Huge shout out to Leanie, who enters the Asmaniac raffle for one. What's up, Leanie? She's in there for one. Luppy with a super chat. He says, Jake, did you ever make the Jake Asman tree yet? Dylan, would you be a part of my my coaching tree for content creators, or because you kind of were doing your thing with Jet Nation, does it not count? Because there's so many people that want me to make the Jake Asman Asmaniac Universe coaching tree here, and I don't know where to start. I mean, I'm going to need help from the community.
So PBM actually asked this question a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week or a couple days ago. I can't remember. And I happened to be in the chat and I saw it. And he asked do I belong in like the Jake Asman coaching tree of spinoff podcasts? I would say that maybe I belong on the tree, but I don't know if I would go as far as to say that I'm a spinoff of you. We found each other, obviously, a couple months ago, and we started, collabing, but I've been doing podcasts since 2021 on YouTube with Jet Nation. So I'm definitely not new to the YouTube space, but yes, the timing of when you and I started doing our weekly shows coincided with everything that kind of transpired with Jet Nation. And then around the draft, I was able to create my own show. So I guess I would leave that up to the committee and the chat. But like, there's a lot of people that, are very new to me, and I'm new to them as well. But there's a lot of people that know me from a couple years back. So to say I'm part of the tree, yes, but I don't know if spinoff would be the word that I would use.
It's interesting because Aaron Glenn never coached under Bill Parcells, but he's considered a Parcells guy. So I almost wonder if like you're considered like part of the Asmaniac tree, even though you kind of had your own pre-existing thing that you were doing in an alternate universe. If that comp makes sense. Like, for example, Mike Vrabel is not a Belichick guy. He played for Belichick. He never coached under Belichick, so he's not technically on the tree. So I think you're technically not on the tree, but by association, you almost are. I think that's kind of where I've landed on.
Yeah. Our trees are close together in the forest, but they're not the same tree. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, your tree is probably much, much larger than my tree. I don't have any spin-offs.
I have a gigantic tree.
Dude, you have so many branches on this tree, and it is quite amazing when you get to the end of these branches who you find.
Oh my goodness. We spent way too much time on this hypothetical, but Luppy did say he wants a tree shirt. So maybe if I could sell a shirt out of it, it will all be worth it. Who knows? Open phone lines for those of you who want in on the conversation, comments, questions, your super chats. They cut the line. Let's get to some of your calls right now as we talk with Dylan Tereman on the final day of the Azzy Awards. Vote for your top Charles Gorman moment if you haven't already. Ladies and gentlemen, first up today is...
He's pointing. Gary Box point at you. Gary Box point at you. Gary Box I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Gary Box point at you. I point.
That is a catchy intro for sure. My bad. I just subbed to your channel. I just realized I was never subbed to your channel. I listen to every episode, every video you do, but I just realized I wasn't a sub. So I subbed from both my accounts. So you got 2 new subs.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What about your burner accounts, Gary? Can you sub on those as well?
That's what I said. Well, it's not a burner. I have the 3D boxing one and the BK nothing, but that's one.
Yeah, but you made a good point in the comments about Kerr and Popovich there. In the same
Kerr never coached under Pop, but he's a Pop guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but Gary, who's this account that just subscribed to me yesterday? Moon landing's fake.
I don't know. That is the moon landing is fake, but that's not. I have 2 accounts. You guys know what they are. The chat is the chat's something else. They come up with the names with the quickness. You say something, and 3 seconds later, that's in the chat.
You should be honored that they do that, though, because they're all like Gary's wife's vacuum or whatever the case is. You know?
Yeah. I had a couple of things. With when the Jets drafted Arian Smith, I thought it was so long from my boy Xavier Gibson, but then it seems like they like him. But like to me, they fill a lot of the same space, and they overdrafted Arian Smith on draft boards, right? Whatever you think of that, right? But he went higher than projected, and I thought at that point Gibson is gone. Does Gibson still have a spot as solely a special teams guy, or was my initial instinct kind of right that Gibson's days are numbered?
Well, he's in the slot too, though. He's still getting some reps there.
But aren't you going to put Smith there? I mean, you drafted him high.
Smith is going to be playing on the outside a lot too, though. He's going to be a burner.
So that's the thing. I would, and unfortunately, I hate to have to say it, but their 11 personnel as it's constructed right now is, in my opinion, Josh Reynolds and Alan Lazard on the boundary and Garrett Wilson in the slot. Now, if you want to put Garrett Wilson on the boundary, Josh Reynolds on the boundary, yes, Xavier Gibson is probably your slot. And then you go from there, you flex out Gibson for Smith. I don't see a scenario where Gibson is ever in on 2 wide receiver sets. And I don't see many scenarios where Arian Smith is your wide receiver on 2 wide receiver sets. Not yet, but I think Arian Smith has a easier path because of his speed and his deep route running prowess in terms of Xavier Gibson being more of your slot, 2-way go, shifty, short to intermediate guy. But again, I'm kind of wondering what the allure is with Xavier Gibson and the coaching staff. How do they feel about him? He's one where like, I would love to be a fly on the wall and understand their thoughts internally about Xavier Gibson to have more of a read on it. But as I just said, I think it's him versus Smith for your backup slot. And I think Garrett's going to primarily be lined up in the slot to help him win as much as possible. And then 2 wide receiver sets, it's going to be him and Reynolds or him and Lazard, depending on what they want to do.
And then, like, to piggyback on the Jets receiver, Garrett Wilson is number 1. Is there depth charts of receivers? Is there a 2 and a 3, or is it all situational that's going to change every week depending on matchup? I was like, is there a number 2 receiver? Like, or is it just Garrett Wilson's number 1, and then it's variable week by week?
To a degree, yes, but I do think Josh Reynolds, if you're going to come out in 12 personnel, it's going to be Breece Hall, Mason Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert as your 12. That's your 12, your 2 tight ends. And then it's going to be Wilson and Reynolds for as long or as many formations as they can possibly have it. And then in certain situations, you'll flex in the slot Gibson or Smith, obviously taking Ruckert off the field. Now, I don't know if they would ever, like I said, do the Reynolds Lazard on the boundary with Garrett in the slot. I think that's a huge wrinkle that we should, use to our advantage, because Garrett would be the shortest wide receiver on the field at this time. So I do think it's going to be game plan, matchup, situational kind of, exclusive for some of these players. But I do think it's going to be Arian Smith over Gibson, but they're both going to make the team if Corley doesn't.
Okay. So you think
I don't want him to not make the team, but the trend, right, if I was projecting to be correct, I would project Corley to miss the roster. If I was projecting as how I would put together the team on Madden or whatever, I would put Corley on the team.
Interesting. I mean, I would put him on the team too, because I think I know he hasn't shown anything. I get it, but like there's still you watch his tape from college, like there's upside here. I know it's all college, it's not against the highest competition, but like there's something, like there was a reason why he was drafted as high as he was, and like to him never get a shot, it feels like let's not. I mean, I know they didn't draft him. They have no. I get it, right? Like he's not our guy, but like there's still upside there. I think. Like you watch the tape, like there's something to this guy.
Yeah, but why is he not playing it? There's just so much. Like the Jets are bereft of talent at that position. So don't you think if he was showing something in camp, they'd find ways to get him on the field?
That's why I think it's internal. That's why I think it's internal. It's something that's like he's not comprehending the playbook. He's not picking up what they're putting down in terms of, their teaching or whatever it is. It's a willingness thing. I'm not exactly sure what it is with Corley, but that's part of like the draft process from my perspective. Somebody who sits at home and watches film only. I never interview these guys. The most I can do is interview them at the Senior Bowl between practices. And then it's like 2 or 3 minutes at a time with each prospect. But like, how much can you learn about a guy and his heart and his mental makeup and his willingness? So Corley is a guy that it's probably a lot of the stuff that we don't get to see that is hindering him more so than straight up talent.
I had a couple of other points I wanted to make. First, I finally saw this girl, Sydney Sweeney. I saw her on the ad, Jake. So I finally know who you're talking about.
Okay.
And I was right. I had no idea who that was before I saw the ad. Yes.
Are you a fan of hers?
She's cool. She's cool.
Okay. Now it's interesting. So this Sydney Sweeney ad's been like the talk of the internet, but I've been more interested in the other ad that American Eagle put out.
Don't do it. Yeah. Don't. This is the body positivity campaign. I thought we were getting away with that by hiring people who look like Sydney Sweeney. Are we back on body positivity?
Are you trying to fat shame Beastbreaker?
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to shame him at all. I'm just trying not to look at that. Right?
I think he looks great here. He looks awesome in denim. Shame on you.
I'm old enough to remember when models were
line?
attractive. I guess we're gonna try to go back to that with Sydney Sweeney. Is that the new plan here, to go back to attractive models? Or are we gonna stick with the morbidly obese ones?
We're going to go with Beast and Sydney Sweeney in a collaboration for American Eagle.
There you go. I thought he was retired. I thought he hung.
Well, look, Beastbreaker is a man of many talents, and American Eagle made a last-second decision that they were looking for a beast model, and I mean, he's the guy that you want in denim, so they paid him a lot of money to come out of retirement.
Understood. This was a Brett Favre, George Strait retirement. It's only retired for the moment. Yeah. Aaron Glenn, I didn't like how it started off with the Aaron Rodgers incident and how Aaron reported on that and stuff. But to everything else thus far, he gives the right answer to everything. He takes full responsibility. It's coaching. It's on me. If we fail, it's because of me. I'm hoping, and let's hope, he gets all the answers right during the game too, because on the microphone, he is really, really positive and really, really good. Like I wanted a veteran head coach. I said, we need someone to stop the bleeding here. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't against Glenn. It just wouldn't have been my pick. He's handling this like a pro. Like he's handling this really, really well.
He doesn't act like a first-time head coach at the podium.
No,
exactly.
He definitely comes prepared. And just, hand up, he wasn't my number one guy either. It was Mike Vrabel and then a list of offensive guys that, even though it was their first time, it was an offensive minded guy. And the Jets just never even interviewed those guys. So then it quickly became, okay, Vrabel versus Glenn. And I wanted Vrabel. And then obviously Vrabel landed in New England. So you pivot to Glenn. But like Jake said, he definitely comes more prepared than most, if any, first-year head coach I've ever seen. Like, he's answering all the questions right. He's taking all those fundamental A to B, B to C steps, including talking to the media, that gives you positivity, where if it wasn't your guy, you could at least buy into what he's saying. Again, caveat, you got to win games. But yes, he is doing everything so far so good and in a positive way. Like you said, he's going to take responsibility for the team. He's probably going to throw people under the bus to a degree when it comes time to it, but that's not going to be out of a place of like malice. That's going to be from a place of, we're going to coach this out of him and he's going to figure it out on our terms. We're going to coach it out of him. So I'm really excited, man. Like, I don't want to get too overly excited because we know what happens, but AG so far has my vote for being a good head coach.
Yeah, when they first hired him and I heard that Rodgers thing, I'm like, this is going to be one of those instances where the guy is a genius X's and O's guy with zero people skills, and it's going to be a nightmare when things start to go wrong because no one likes him. But now you listen to him, it's like, no, I think everyone's going to like. He's not going to be easy on guys, but everyone's going to like him, right? Like
being a former player helps him there, right? And
100%.
especially with the Jets, he was here with probably one of the first things he said is, "I know what it was like. I was you guys. Like I literally was here when we won one football game. Like I saw this place at its worst, and I was here when we were 10 minutes from the Super Bowl, and know what it's like to win in New York and when it's at its best. Like." It's compelling, and he's just a compelling guy in general. Like no one has a bad thing to say about Aaron Glenn that you're going to find from any of his players.
And I'm glad that all the, the heat and all the loud portion of the offseason came regarding Rodgers and the personnel decisions he had to immediately make when he took hold of this team. He was on the cover of all the news articles, and everybody was talking about him making all his decisions, criticizing him or praising him. Now we're back into the let's, be quiet and let's win silently type narrative. So I'm glad that it got out of the way first. Although I disagreed with the Rodgers stuff, I'm not going to hide from that. But I do like the pivot and the following 6 months after that, where he proved to me, at least, he had a plan for this roster and how to build it out.
The last thing I wanted to touch on was McDonald. To me, last year was like Mike Piazza home runs. It was feast or famine. It was 3 in a week, and then it was none for a month. Oh, we sold on him. Jermaine, we saw him grow as a player his second year, right? We saw it. I don't feel that way. The other way. I feel like it was a lot of it was circumstantial. Is he really that good? Is he one-dimensional? Can we expect double-digit sacks every year? I'm not sold on him the way I was sold on Jermaine after his second year.
Well, I mean, look, a lot of McDonald's sacks came in the first half of the year. I think consistency is the next step for him. He's only going into his third year, though. The guy significantly improved from year 1 to year 2. Now we're hearing that he's the best player in camp so far this summer. I think he's going to have a good year, Gary. I don't know if he's going to be an all-pro because, as Dylan brought up, I mean, name a great pass rusher. There's so many of them, so it's hard to do that. But can he be a Pro Bowl player this year? I think he can. I think he's going to be in a spot now where they're asking him to do a little more. He added the weight. He's clearly better against the run. He's become more of an all-around player. And him being out there with Jermaine is also going to help him. So I think he's in for another really good season, probably better than last year.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I was never sold on him like I was Jermaine. After Jermaine's second, I'm okay, he's the real deal. McDonald, I was I think he's kind of, we'll see. We're still but everything, all reports are good on him. So, if he does last year or better, that's great for us. If it was what he was last year or better, then we're in good shape.
Give me one of these. Shape. I got other callers. Give me one of these, baby.
Yeah.
I'm zooming in on you. Give us the point, ladies and gentlemen. Gary.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
Oh yeah. Is there anything better than this?
No. I love it. You got to do the point every time.
Dominic D'Angelo in the Asmaniac raffle for 1. Let's go. Also, how about a 10 spot from Julian gifting 10 memberships. Hit it, AG.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hell yeah. Joe Rano, Iowa Jet fan. Matt from L5. Keith Parcells, Tyrone Garcia, Josh Ellis, New York Nick, Stephen T, Jose Lopez, Alan, you have gonorrhea, all receiving a gifted membership from the great Julian there, who's in our Fields raffle for 10. It's $5 for a chance to win a Justin Fields jersey if you gift 1 channel membership. All right, let's get to more of your phone calls right now. You heard me shout out Dominic. He's next. He's on the line. What's up, Dominic?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Dom, what's up, man?
Good. Not too bad. I voted for Gorman in the shaving incident. I tuned in live for that one. And I was laughing so hard I had to pick that one. So I don't know the couple thing that he got into. I don't know anything about that one. So I have no clue what that one was. But yes, Poopgate, I was with you, Jake. I thought that was more so the Bobby show, so I did not vote that one. My thought when it came to Corley and stuff like that. Yeah, he seems like he's dead in the water. I think to Dylan, to your point, I think it's an internal thing where he's just not clicking. He wasn't used for weeks on end last year. So I think it's more telling of the person than is the talent of the guy. So I think he's done. But I did want to ask, I'm going to your guys there, or Jake, your area for SummerSlam this weekend. And I'm going to be up in Rutherford. I don't have a car. I won't have a car, but I'll be taking transit and stuff to get to and from places. I'll be at MetLife and stuff like that. I wanted to go to the Saturday thing with Chef Kevin and everything, but I think that's a little too far out. But I'm curious if you have any recommendations of what I should do Jets-wise if I am there while I'm there.
Well, can you make it to training camp on Saturday, Dominic?
What is that pretty close to Rutherford? Like, I'm such a novice when it comes to the area. So is that
it probably is about a 30-minute ride from MetLife to One Jets Drive.
Yeah.
Like in that range roughly. So do you have any access to a car?
No, probably not. I won't.
Maybe Uber. I mean,
I could Uber.
And I'll tell you what.
Services of Nick Shine.
I'll tell you what. Nick Shine will be happy to pick it up. But I'll do something nice for you now. Is it just you? How many tickets would you need for Saturday?
It would be just me if I'm going to go.
All right. Well, you're in luck because thanks to the best listeners in the history of the universe, I have a ticket for Saturday for you, Dominic. So if you can arrange a way to get to the Jet facility for the green and white scrimmage, you'll be all set. And I'm sure someone that is going to that would be more than willing to allow you to carpool with them to Chef Kevin's meetup after at Cloverleaf Tavern.
Oh, hell yeah. That'd be awesome. I'd definitely be game for that. So yeah, thanks, Jake. Man. Well, you gave me some plans then.
All right. I love it, Dom. Do me a favor. Shoot me an email so I know where to transfer a ticket for Saturday. And as long as you could just get to One Jets Drive, it's super early. It's 8:30 in the morning. But
I could definitely do that, I think. Yeah.
You probably only need like an Uber just on the way there, and then you'll be close enough to figure out the rest, and we'll get you situated.
Easy enough, man. Thanks, guys. Damn, this was a good call.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Love it. Dominic checking in. How about that? He's coming to training camp on Saturday with us, baby. Love it.
Gotta love helping the people out, man. That's awesome.
By the way, for those who think I'm making up the name Alan has gonorrhea, check the chat. I can't actually put his comment up on the screen, but there is an account that has a membership. Alan has gonorrhea. So take that for data. Boom. Oh, my goodness. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Shout out to this community for always coming through. If anyone needs training camp tickets for some of the later dates beyond Saturday, we're working on getting more of those. Jets do have a training camp practice tomorrow. I've given away, I think, 12 tickets so far to Jet fans for tomorrow's practice. So thanks again to everyone who supports and allows us to make the days of people in this community. Bo, super chat, cuts the line. You can't really consider AG a rookie. He danced in all the arenas prior to becoming a head coach. He's simply applying what he's learned and lived. AJ, that's a fair point. And look, I did say when they hired him that I do think a strength he has, even though he's a first-time coach, is that he's been in this media market before. So, like, it's not going to overwhelm him, which I think is a positive. But I have even been impressed with just how well he has been at really sounding like he's been a head coach for 10 years and not a guy who's never done it. It's impressive. He's not your typical, deer in the headlights rookie coach up there at the podium. I think it's a good sign.
Yeah, 100%. He definitely took the steps that were necessary to become a head coach, and perhaps it is a lot of the landing spot being the Jets. Like we always joke about, Samini knows where the skeletons are in One Jets Drive. AG kind of knows where the skeletons are on One Jets Drive too. Like he knows Woody from back in the years where they were successful, where they weren't successful. So there's a lot going in AG's favor, and it doesn't it helps him immensely to know all these things about the team, to feel like he is still part of the team, to say this is the job I wanted to take, but then to come in and double down and triple down on that and actually prove to the players, first and foremost. He doesn't need to prove it to ownership. He needs to prove it to the players that he's not a phony, because they'll smell it right away.
100%. And players could sniff right through that if they get a feeling that someone's not being genuine. More calls, and then we'll play the first of 4 iconic Gorman moments to help you decide who you want to vote for if you haven't done so in our final Azzy category. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline is Papa Jet. Hello, Papa.
How you guys doing?
Papa.
How are you?
Hey, as far as the team goes, the projected starters right now, I kind of like our lineup. The only thing is like the depth, but I'm hoping we pick up somebody like on the cut down, like maybe we pick up a veteran wide receiver and maybe DT, just for good depth or even starting possibly. because I would say defensive tackle, wide receiver, and even linebacker. I don't know. The depth's a little shaky, but Rome wasn't built in a day, so, but that's what I'm hoping during the cut down, pick up somebody, and then just getting lucky on the injuries too, dodging them, you know.
Or someone emerges too, Papa. I mean, that's, I guess, the best case scenario. Like Arian Smith looks awesome in preseason. You feel better about him going into the season.
Right.
Whether it's Coward or whoever emerges next to Quinn, and you feel better about it. That said, like Gabe Davis is still out there. He's not old. So, like, I'd have no problem bringing him in. To me, Jadeveon Clowney would still be a good fit. I know he's above 30, but we just signed Nick Folk, who's 40. So maybe that role now could be amended to help you on your D-line. So Michael Clemens does not have to play nearly as much as it feels like he's going to right now with Jermaine coming off the serious injury. So I'm with you, Papa. I think best case scenario, though, some guys just stand out during these joint practices and preseason games, and you feel a lot better about the depth on the team than we currently do.
Yeah, hopefully, I think Allen's still out there too. So, I mean, I know Glenn and Muji like to get younger, but we could have a few players over 30. It wouldn't hurt,
I'd take Keenan Allen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as far as Charles goes, this is the last one, Jake.
This is the final Azzy category.
To me, it's an easy one. To me, it's the catfish. The couple in the diner was funny. The shaving was ridiculous. And the poop gate, I don't know. Anybody could take a crap on air, but to me, it's I don't know. I think he disrespected the channel, but that's just my opinion. But the catfish
denigrated the channel.
I love it.
But the catfish, that had an hour of pure drama. Jake trying to get it out of him, and then just everybody chatting in, and then Nick Shine and Purple Belt Mike standing up. They helped him out. Then people were starting to send in money, and then people started wondering, were we getting catfished by Charles? I mean, it had everything going on. So that's what I voted for. I think it's a pretty easy vote, but I don't know who's winning right now. But hey, real quick before I go, just want to show you something. You guys seeing it?
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Who's that signed by? Is that signed by the entire Sack
Exchange.
Exchange?
The whole Sack Exchange, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's worth a lot of money, Papa. That's great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, my kids got it for my 50th. And next year will be my 60th, so maybe they'll buy me a dinner with Joe Klecko or something,
How about the 2022 draft class? Sauce, Garrett, Brees, and Jermaine on a helmet.
Oh, that would be awesome. But
We got to get it done.
okay, guys. Well, hey, have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You too, Papa.
the Azzy Award winner for the best beard, Papa Jet, on the line there. All right, he referenced another Asmaniac, and we're going to go to him next, and then we'll play our first iconic Gorman moment as we are near the end of the Azzy Awards.
Purple belt Mike, he loves the dark knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Yo, Dylan, your favorite rapper you said is MGK?
Yeah, I mean, he's not like the best rapper, but in terms of my personal preference and like the one that I feel like I connect the most to, yes, Machine Gun Kelly. Lil Wayne and Eminem are the top rappers, though.
How did you like Eminem just destroying him royally with Killshot?
I thought Rap Devil was just as good. He came back with just as many facts as him. Killshot was good. I mean, Eminem is built for this.
Rap Devil.
Eminem is built for this, right? Like that's the part.
Killshot.
That's the part that I love. Is Eminem was built to be a battle rapper. That's what he grew up in at the shelter, like all that stuff, right? MGK held his own, and he's not dead. He's not off the face of the planet. Sure, he's wearing pink and he's doing pop stuff.
Pink and
but when he comes back and when he circles back to rap, he is still very good. I will challenge anybody to go listen to El Pistolero, one of his most recent raps. He's just as good rapping. Like yes, you can say he lost to Eminem or whatever. I would call it a tie because he's still standing. Like guys like
most people are going to lose to Eminem. Let's be fair about
exactly.
that. But yeah, I just wanted to know. I like
already effed one girls this week. Don't make me call Kim. Like he put shots on Eminem. Like there were some big shots on Eminem, but Eminem is just built for it. So I think it's more the longevity of MGK.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Are you saying that's where Aaron Glenn got that from Machine Gun Kelly?
No, I would say no, but yeah, I like the whole banter of Eminem and MGK for sure.
Also, all Jet fans, we need to bring it because I don't know if you guys saw on the Pat McAfee show, the Steelers fans were chanting, "Fuck the Jets."
Yes, they were.
Rodgers was on with McAfee at Steelers camp today. In the background, the Steelers fans were chanting that.
So we got to bring it. Obviously, I'm not going week 1. So everyone out there going, you got to bring it because now it's on. I didn't hate Rodgers, but he loved it. He was eating it up when they were yelling.
Yeah, Rodgers loved
it.
He loved it. I'm getting crucified in these comments. God damn. Y'all really don't like MGK? Okay, whatever.
MGK is good, but Eminem is just way better.
Yeah, of course. No, and I would never debate that. He and Lil Wayne are way better as rappers. Like, there's other rappers that I would put above him if I'm power ranking them, but like, some of the lyrics just
mixtapes are still the best of all time.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to compare, the Carter 6 to the more recent MGK raps that have been put out, yeah, I mean, go listen to Bye 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 Freestyle, El Pistolero, like that's better than a lot of, the Carter 6. And MGK's on the Carter 6. Everybody, shh, MGK's on it.
I'll tell you what, Mike. Interesting points. Let me bring on my music guy. Get his opinion on MGK. Beast, what do you think?
A music guy? Oh. He's not a music guy.
What do you mean? Beast knows everything about anything. Just ask him.
I know.
Beast, what do you think of Machine Gun Kelly? You a fan? Solid points by Beast.
Oh, man.
Maybe his best call ever.
Killing me. Yeah, when Beast says less, it's a better call for sure.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Justin Fields jersey will be raffled away at the end of the show. If you win, pick the size, pick the color, and tell me your address. And we'll get it sent out for you to be able to rock week 1 when the Jets hopefully beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get back to your calls, as promised, we're going to play each of the nominated Charles Gorman top moments. So we can knock 2 out of the way right away because the first one I'll play is Poopgate, when Charles Gorman called into the Bobby Midnight Show while wiping his dairy air.
Charles, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm just wiping my hands right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, Charles denied the accusations that he was dumping on the show, but it seems pretty obvious based on further calls into this show where we interrogated him that he was, in fact, doing the deed. This was Charles Gorman trying to explain what exactly was happening, though, in that clip you just saw.
What were you actually doing? Tell us.
Going to the bathroom. Right. And for people to ask whether or not I wash my hands and wipe my butt, are people stupid?
Well, I agree.
Are you guys actually laughing about this shit? Questions your guys' character.
I am pissed off. Trust me.
You were drying your hands, weren't you, Charles?
I'm sorry, Charles. Washing my hands and drying my hands.
Right. Thank you. All right, Charles. Okay. Yeah. Okay, go suck it.
I was washing my hands.
Washing his hands, was he? Washing his hands. All right. There's moment 1. Moment 2 that is up for grabs was when Charles Gorman called in from his local deli. And then madness unfolded.
Hey, Jake, how are you? I'm at one of my favorite cafes called Liberty Bagel.
Do you think the guy in the blue knows he's on one of the biggest shows on YouTube right now? Ask him if he's a Jet fan.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you a Jet fan? He's a soccer fan. This is Jake Asman. He is an ESPN radio show host and a YouTuber like me, but he's been doing it longer than me.
Hi, good morning.
How's it going? You guys don't know this, but the guy in front of you there, right? Charles, explain to them Asmaniac Madness and tell them that you're the #1 seed in the tournament.
He named the region after my mom's chicken soup. It's not Asman, it's Asman. She found your channel, dude. I'm so sorry about this.
Steady Eddie, I need you to tell me right now how much your sandwich and your brother's sandwich was total.
$44.18.
What the heck did you guys order? Charles, I just sent you a Venmo. Now look at this mug. Does this sandwich cure cancer? Is that why it's so much money? Thank the people behind you there for being willing to come on the show.
They left already.
Oh, I wonder why. Hey, real quick, Kyle, I got some breaking news here. This is the couple from the table. How about you pay for our food too, since you ruined our breakfast? At Dominic Ciampi, Venmo, please. This is quite the turn of events here. Ladies and gentlemen, the couple from the table is calling in. Is this real?
It's only $30, not 50.
Ours was only 30.
So Charles comes over to you. What did you think was happening?
I was very confused. He was talking a lot about his new home and stuff behind us loudly, and then he just came up at us.
The chat is very mixed whether or not I should send you guys the $30. I'm seeing some comments here saying, don't go for it, Jake. Rick says only pay them if they subscribe. Yeah, I'm going to need at least both of you to subscribe.
All
right. I'm leaning towards paying them the $30 here. Should I pay this couple $30 after their Charles Gorman experience at lunch?
I did not have on my bingo card that I would have my call hijacked by some random Jersey cafe couple this morning. This show never fails to surprise and delight. Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta.
You probably did him a favor because this country is totally overrun by useless carbs, but you did interrupt their breakfast. Like, I would not be as friendly.
We should pay those couple. They calling your show. That's a big thing.
I agree.
You got 2 customers now.
This looks like blue hooded sweatshirt guy, right? Everyone see this? Dave Brigga is vehemently against me paying for this couple's food.
How down bad do you have to be to beg for $30 on the internet?
Wow, they're still watching the show. The couple's still watching the show. Look at this.
That's great. That's great. So if you're sitting there at a restaurant and someone comes up and bothers you, Jake Asman in New York should pay for your lunch. This is ridiculous. What are we doing here?
I think it's the least Jake can do is give him $30.
You're not very intelligent. Why is that Jake's responsibility? Someone cut the cord to your internet. I'm not listening. No, I can't hear it. I'll let you with one line. Hold on.
Hey, order.
Hey, Dixon, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. Not sitting outside a restaurant with my mug and asking for change. What's going on?
It's not an expensive-ass restaurant, and I'm not begging for money. I have a great job.
You literally typed in the chat and said,
you're doing it for free. You're the idiot.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing?
Incredible. Yeah, your life is sitting on a show and not getting paid for it. You're free content.
Thank you, Jake.
You make him money.
Dixon, don't be so upsetty, spaghetti.
That's my line. Don't do that.
Sweetheart, I don't even know you, but I didn't mean to take your line. It's okay. You can take it back. Toodles!
Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the couple from the table. It's really crazy because it starts with a Gorman moment and then becomes like in a moment for the entire like Asmaniac community to weigh in on whether or not I should pay for the couple's breakfast or lunch, whatever it was. And then Dixon at the end there. Dixon never calls this show, but the one time he does is just scream at this random couple, which I love.
Dixon is not a fan of freeloaders. He probably subscribes to the Brigga achievement theory. So that's quite the clip. Yeah, it became a Dixon clip at the end of that one for sure. And the whole upsetty spaghetti line really gets me.
All right, so that is the couple at the diner. We played the poop gate clip, so we got 2 moments left. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play the moment when Charles Gorman called in to the show and he provided the shaving tutorial that we all needed.
It's time for paying Charles to shave.
What the hell? You started already? You're supposed to do it on the air when I introduce you. What are you doing?
Shave.
You were not supposed to start yet.
Sorry.
You're supposed to shave on the show. If you started shaving before the show, that doesn't make any sense. It defeats the whole purpose. You just robbed the people of the full experience, Charles. This is one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made in your entire life. People want their money back. This is ridiculous. Your pay's being cut in half. JQuest says how much to put him in the hole. $50. 10 memberships. Unbelievable. How do you look yourself in the mirror right now? Rick Kent says he's not even using shaving cream. No wonder why he cuts himself.
I am using shaving cream, actually.
How's the hole, Charles?
Great.
What you did is disgraceful.
Sorry, everybody. Actually, the hole's not that bad. It's actually very comfy.
Nick Sean writes in, does Charles getting in this hole mean he's still a virgin?
Yes.
You brought such shame to this community, Charles.
Don't know what else to say.
Is there anything Charles could do to try and get some sort of redemption? Dave Brigga says, shave the chest.
Fine, I'll shave my chest.
It is on you now to come through for the Asmaniac community. Otherwise, you go right back to the hole, buddy. Oh, good Lord. This is what the people want on a football Friday. Why are you doing it like that, Charles? This is how you ended up with a wound that we're still discussing weeks later. Up and down, not in a circle. Good Lord. North and south. I don't even think anything's happening. I don't want you to murder yourself live on the air. That could be a problem. I thought you have an electric shaver, like a buzzer. Is it even on?
It is on, yeah.
I don't hear the bzzz.
It's on, Jake. Look.
Shout out to anyone still watching this. At first, he was going like this, like with a circular motion with an electric razor. I'm like, what are you doing? Salem says, imagine this is the first video you stumble across. Oh, good Lord. Charles.
Yes?
What are you doing? This is what happened last time Charles shaved. Good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Here we go. He's using a straight edge now. Oh, this could end poorly, folks. Why aren't you using shaving cream? Don't use razors. This is not a good idea. Do not do this. Oh, good God.
Oh my God, we're gonna watch a man cut his own chest open and bleed out on YouTube, aren't we?
You're going too fast. Slow down with the straight edge, Charles.
Yeah, you gotta. No. Stop. This is unwatchable. Charles.
Yes.
You want to go like little stabs at a time. You don't want to drag it 12 inches down your chest. There you now rinse the razor out, because you're quite a hairy little young man.
I inherited that from my father.
Thank you for that info.
He's going to get bumps the way that he's doing it. He's going to be itchy as hell tomorrow. I think we should cut it.
Charles, do you own aftershave?
No.
Well, that could be an issue with the itchiness.
He's got to learn his lesson, Mike.
And you know what? People paid good money for him just to shave his face.
That was a good stroke. You got a lot going on there. That was good.
Hey, now.
And you got to keep the razor clean out of the hair. You got to keep rinsing it out underneath.
Jake, how many people are online watching this?
108. All right, cut it there because just to set the stage to this, real quick, here's more context on the shaving incident. Never forget when Charles Gorman called in the first time after he claimed he shaved.
Hi, Jake. Hi, Nick.
Hey, buddy.
Mr. Gorman?
Just say hello, Mom. You're in the mood today. Mom's
How's the
making
mood
a
going?
macaroni salad, potato salad, and also egg salad, right, Mama? No.
Charles, what happened to your neck?
Oh, I shaved.
Charles, you're bleeding.
No, I
Wow.
stopped the bleeding. I put the healing stick on it. Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
Charles, go take a shower. Wash that off, pal.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Stop bleeding. Stopped.
It looks great, Charles. You got it all. Perfect. Well done. There you go. Don't move.
Yeah, no. Leave your neck down. Go like this.
Charles, stop, man.
Was OJ at your new apartment? What really happened?
It bled a lot, but I stopped it with the healing stick.
Nate says he just called the Woodbridge police and they're going to be over in 3 minutes.
I'm not bleeding, guys. It's
Charles,
stopped.
stop showing it.
I actually have shaved my peeps in the past, but that's another story.
What does your mom think of this? Go ask her.
I did not shave with a Rambo knife.
Charles Gorman, First Blood.
Get the movie posters ready. Here we go. Coming. Incredible. So that is the shaving incident from Charles Gorman. Both of them.
It's sad that there's multiple, correct? They're sad that there's multiple.
I had another 10 minutes I could have played, but I want to get the catfish clip in too.
Yeah, at least if you nick yourself shaving, like it's usually small, you could cover it up. Like that was a hack, dude. Like that's as much earth as I take out with a golf swing, just like taken out of his neck.
God damn, man. All right, one last clip to play before we get back to your calls, but we're voting for the final Azzy Award. We saved the best for last because the number one seed in last year's Asmaniac Madness tournament has his own category, the greatest Charles Gorman moment. But first, Anthony Logerato just gifted 5 channel memberships. Let's go. If you hear your name called, Anthony made you a channel member, and he enters our Fields jersey raffle for 5. Anthony, as always, appreciate your support. The following 5 people are channel members: Shane Tuttle, Jets Runny, Dean, Z-Breath, LD Caesar, all receiving channel memberships from Anthony. All right. I saved, I guess, the best for last because right now, the catfishing incident is running away with it in the polls. 41% of the vote have voted for the catfishing incident To set the stage for this, we go back to Asmaniac Madness. It was April 1st, 2025. It was Big Fella and Gorman in the Sweet 16. The winner would advance to the regional final of the Chicken Soup region. And Charles Gorman, in the midst of his matchup against the Big Fella, called in quite the bit of a pickle. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
Okay, Jake, this is some real serious shit right now. I'm helping someone out. Do you have Cash App? I'm serious, Jake. I swear to God. I'm not bullshitting you.
Yeah, what do you need the money for, Charles?
She's real. I heard her voice. I swear to God.
What does she need help with?
It's complicated right now. Please, Jake. I really am in deep, dire straits right now.
Why not ask?
A deposit of $1,000, but something turned out with her financial department. She uses Bitcoin wallet.
Of course she does.
I was supposed to help her out with some payments.
Why would you help her out? You don't have a job. Bad fella, what do you think of this situation?
I smell criminality everywhere. I smell it. I need the bat spray.
I'm being serious here.
I'm being serious. Charles, if she's asking you for Bitcoin, that's a scam, bro. Now back to Batman. Charles, you cannot be duped. Do not fall for this.
I met her on Discord.
Have you seen what she looks like?
Well, she's busy right now. She was busy at the time.
Of course. So you've never seen her because you're being scanned. If I'm supposed to believe this is real, she needs it for what?
The financial department.
The financial department of what?
Don't you fall for that scam.
Well, I just lost all my freaking money because of this bitch.
Well, how much did you pay this person?
Too damn much. I heard her voice. It was a woman.
Have you watched this show and seen what Gator has done with people's voices?
It wasn't Gator. It was an actual female voice.
Oh my God. Of course it's not Gator scamming you. $70? Is that why you requested that from me? More than that?
Yes.
How much?
I literally help people that have been victimized from this weekly. This is called a romance scam. What did you use? Did you use like Venmo?
Cash App, Bitcoin address.
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
No, you're not getting your money back, dude. I can't help you. You're lucky it's not all your money.
How much money is it?
Over 100.
How much? Give me an exact number and we will probably get it done right now. If you swear to everyone watching the show, you will not be scammed by anyone that is fake trying to get your money again. Block this person immediately. Do not give them any more money. You understand?
Yes. I was an idiot, Jake. My parents warned me about this shit and I failed.
You cannot talk to strangers on the internet, Charles. You understand?
Yes.
Tell me how much money you sent to this fake person immediately. How much total money is this roughly here? Because I can't do the math as I'm on the air right now. This is over $1,000, Charles. Is that why you asked for $1,000 at the beginning? That's so nice of you, big fella. I'll make sure we get this to Charles.
Look, Charles is a special person. And for someone to take advantage of him, I wish I was the real Batman because I go and destroy them.
I posted Charles' Venmo in the chat. Send it to him directly. I mean, it's just brutal. Charles, you got scammed, man. Hopefully you learn from this. That's all you could do. Wow.
It's
the number one moment.
This is why he is the number one seed. And I used to always make fun of Charles and say this isn't one seed energy in the beginning of the bracket building process, but he has proven me wrong time and time again that he is worth number one.
You've now seen all the nominees. So for those of you who are waiting to vote, now you can vote. Big Country, Super Chat, cuts the line. While I'm cooking dinner and my wife and daughter are in the kitchen also, my wife never really watches the show with me and my kid. Let's just say this wasn't a good show for her to walk into. Yeah, this is one of those shows where if you're not a regular around here, you might be a little confused what exactly is happening on a channel that is about the Jets that has 47,000 subscribers. 42. What do I have? I don't know. So I'm at 47.
41.7, I think somebody said in the chat.
That's
Ironically, which is funny, Big Country, the show went off the rails after Gary got off his phone call. So that was a good one. I think we got about 50 minutes of Jets talk in.
Yeah.
So
we got straight Jets talk. I mean, it's the Azzy Awards, man. We had to end strong. Don't worry. We'll be back to your regularly scheduled Jets programming tomorrow. It's going to be great. But as far as your wife and family go, Big Country, tell them that you have a chance to now win a Justin Fields jersey because Big Country, you earned yourself 5 raffle tickets. All right, let's get back to your calls here before we wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, John is up next on the show. What's up, John?
What's up, boss? Yeah, I definitely had a moment like Big Country. Mike D's Nuts was giving a lot of channel memberships one day, and it just was not stopping. I had it on the speaker doing dishes, and I couldn't grab anything, so it's just like Mike D's Nuts. The old visual for it, so that was good. But I just wanted to call him because I'm really excited about the red zone opportunities. I actually pulled up a little article made about the Steelers last year, and they were talking about his red zone percentage and how they were kind of stalling out with Wilson when he took the reins back. And it shows about 11 opportunities within the 10, and he gave them about 8 touchdowns with 1 field goal. And I really like those percentages because, again, like having a QB spy on him within the 20 is going to be very crucial for us to be able to break around the edges and be able to really attack a defense. And that's just something, again, like we really haven't had. I mean, even with Zach Wilson is, if he does scramble, you're scared. So it's like, just kind of really excited about having that back in our offense and, also, keeping everybody on edge. I mean, it's going to be exciting, and I'm excited for it. And I'm excited about AG. I really enjoy the way he's been talking about the team. And, we say it a lot. So, and I like that we had a little bit of adversity with the toe injury, being able to see how he presented that to the media because, everybody wanted to have a big thing about how you address the media if something went wrong, but he held it good, gave good information, was straight to the point, and we had a good break. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, John, great call. Love the hat, by the way, man. You got to rock that.
Great elite hat. Yeah. That was a great hat. Just in terms of the red zone, though, this is what the team is hopefully trending toward, is being unpredictable in the red zone, having a trick up their sleeve, whether it's Brees or Braylon or Justin himself running it inside the 10. Those statistics you shouted out inside the 10, he came away with 8 touchdowns and 1 field goal. That's a great conversion percentage. So I'm really excited for the players themselves, but also what Engstrand is going to do from an aggressive standpoint and things of that nature, not necessarily trick plays, but things that he's going to do, like wrinkles off a run play where he turns it into a play action pass and Justin Fields can change the launch point, get out of the pocket a little bit and make a throw. I'm really excited to see the combination of Engstrand's aggressiveness in the offense as well as the players and the talent once we get down inside the 20, because that's when it's theoretically harder for offenses to, you have less plays that you can run. And I'm really excited to see how Engstrand puts together the red zone offense specifically, but great numbers on Fields there.
Connor Long is spending his allowance money to enter the Justin Fields raffle. He gifted a membership, folks. Love it. Shout out to Connor. He's done a great job when he's been at training camp a couple times this summer with his observations. All right, let's finish strong with your calls. Remember to vote for the Azzy Awards, and then if you want to join the Fields raffle at the end, you still can. Let's say hi to the Lup Man, who's next on the show. What's up, Luppy?
What's up, guys? How's everything going on? Listen,
Luppy.
Dylan, I love you,
Right,
buddy.
I gotta fit in now. You got the hat on.
All right, there you go.
I gotta rock the hat. Everybody's got the white Asmaniac.
Gotta get the white Asmaniacs. Let's go. We're gonna have like a little thing or something. I don't know what to do, but yeah, definitely.
Throw up an A.
Open A. There we go. Don't say open A. That's just messed up. Gary might take it the other way. I'm just,
Whoa.
Hey now.
Sorry about that. It's a family show. Sorry.
Look, your
just
question
saying.
caused quite a stir. Before you get to your point, you had to ask me about the album here. Now all of a sudden everybody
Yes.
hates me because I give an opinion on music. It's like,
Oh my
I say
God,
I
yeah.
like one person and all of a sudden I hate everybody else in the world. So thank you for that.
Oh, sorry about that, but there is no bad press. You know that.
You're
Dylan,
absolutely right.
I watch your shows. Thank you. Listen, Jake, as far as the tree goes, and we talked about the tree a little earlier, there are roots to a tree, right? Dylan's a root. There are so many roots you have. Yeah, exactly. So you got to think about the roots that make the tree. So I think that has to be involved in that little tree, and I would definitely buy that shirt if you do it, because there's so much good that you do. And I've loved you for years, Jake. I love this show, so we're not going to get into this love fist anymore.
Keep going. Your check's in the mail, Lumpy. Keep going.
Sick, you're the man. No, seriously. Today's my wedding anniversary. It's not why I came on to it. I came back from the beach. I got a little sunburn, as you say.
Happy anniversary.
Well, thank you so much. She hates me today, so she'll love me tomorrow. That's the way it goes. That's why I'm on the show. No, I'm kidding. Couple of jet points though, but
congrats on the sex.
Oh,
or
sorry,
lack of it.
Slipped.
Lack of it.
No, I'm kidding. No, she's the beast 666 in my life. All right.
Hey, now
is that a good thing? I don't know.
You said it.
All right, I'm taking my own grave right here. Speaking of beast. Sorry about that. Getting a little off the rails. But the whole Will McDonald and the coaching thing, really, as we go, we like good transition. But as we go, I wanted to say this for a couple of days because I haven't been on the channel. I've been watching you after the fact with Jake. I always do. But the fact that he said it was coaching, that he is not just a speed rusher, and he started powering people over, gives me faith that we will stop the run. That he has schemes, that we will run the ball, that we will scheme things and coach things. These are the coaching talks of a real coach. And that's the kind of things that are really getting me excited. So I'm up to 7 wins now, Jake. I know I go little by little, but, just the bottom line is they have to – he's done everything right, but they have to win games, and it starts with Pittsburgh because the snowball that will affect – to lose to Aaron Rodgers is a little bit more than a regular loss. Am I wrong, guys? Am I wrong? I mean, I know every game counts. Every game counts a lot. There's only 17 games, but I think the momentum and what he's trying to, portray and saying the culture has changed. If you're going to change the culture, you beat the S out of Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you say, we're here, and we're going to smash you in the mouth. And even if we lose close, but I want to see.
Don't start 0-2. That's how I would describe it, Lumpy. Like, you're at home your first 2 weeks. Like, can you avoid an 0-2 start? Because if you start 0-2 and you lost both your games at home, like, what's really different under Aaron Glenn is what the popular storyline is then going to be. It doesn't mean that they can't rally or Glenn doesn't end up figuring things out and turns out to be a good coach. But
I'm taking it a little further. Don't go 0-1. I think that's going to be it. I think we need to get off on the right foot.
I agree. I agree. I think getting off, and I've said this for months, I think getting off to a good start is important for this new regime. And I think a signature win early, like what week 1 against Rodgers would do, matters for the full buy-in of the play. Like, the players have bought in. Glenn has them right now. They're sold. Listen to their comments. We play them every day on the show. But if you want them to remain bought in, have an early signature win so people look at Aaron Glenn like, okay, we got our guy. We know what he's doing. Parcells, everyone loves the Parcells comp. His first game as the Jet coach coming off a 1-win season. They smashed Seattle 41-3 on the road. Like, that set the tone. That's what the Jets need to do.
Yes.
Set the tone.
Yes, he's checked everything, every box off the list. He said the right things. He didn't sit there to say it to make the right saying. He did it because he believes it, and the players believe it, and now I'm believing it. And I think we need a win right off the bat. We need to smack somebody in the face, and I am really feeling it, though, Jake. I think, like I said, he's doing all the right things. We just gotta win.
Yep, I completely agree.
You're the man.
You guys are the man.
No, I agree with what you guys are saying. I mean, week 1, you have to come out and show that you are going to be competitive. You're going to hit the ground running. And, like, I'll just play like devil's advocate, like worst case scenario. Even if you win week 1, you lose to Buffalo, which is probably expected, and then you might lose to Tampa Bay, who out-talents you, which I don't want to see because we'll be there in attendance, right? But if you start with a win, it'll buy you so much extra time that 2 losses after that won't, they're not calling for your head. If you start 0-2, 0-3, the back pages, Rich Cimini, Kaz, they're going to be ripping you at the podium. And then that's really when the adversity is going to hit for AG. So I agree with Lupp. You got to start off hot. And if there's a winnable game in the first month of the season, it is Pittsburgh and then Miami. And then I would put Tampa Bay, and then Buffalo is obviously the hardest one out of the first 4. Let's go 2-2, man. Like, can we just go 2-2? Take every game of the season in like a 2-game box.
Yep.
You have Pittsburgh and Buffalo, then you have Tampa and Miami, then you have Dallas and Denver, and then you come home, you have Carolina and I believe Cincinnati. Like if you can just break it down into 2 game segments and go 500, you're 4-4 at the bye, and all of a sudden you're not trading Breece Hall because your team is shit, and you're not getting rid of depth players for 6th round picks because they're not going to be of help to you this year. You actually think you have a chance, and you might not be a buyer at the deadline, but you're going to hold all the talent in-house. So I'm really interested in that first 2 game stretch as well. You got to go 1-1.
Avoid the dreadful start that buries your season. Like, let's go, man. Like, can you actually go 2-2 through the first 4 weeks, as Dylan said? Because then, this team should get better as the year goes on, especially with their style of play being running the football. And this team hopefully getting better if they're coached better throughout the year. Like, that's what the Eagles were 2-2 last year before they clicked. Yes. Like, that happens early. Like, if you're going to play the Bills, you're better off playing them at home in week 2 than you are later in the year. That's just reality. So I agree, Dylan. Great point. Flight Risk Jets with a super chat here. Opinion on AFC East defensive coordinators.
Okay, so you have Steve Wilks. You have, is it Sean McDermott is technically the DC? Like, who calls plays in Buffalo?
I think Sean McDermott does. Yeah.
I think he's the play caller, right? So you have him. Then you have, Weaver in Miami. And then Vrabel's probably going to call the defense in New England. So I would say McDermott, Vrabel, AG Weaver. Or Wilkes Weaver, I would probably say, but I think it's really close. Like, these guys are all Weaver's not a bad DC. Like, I don't want to put him forth and say he's shit. Like, he's actually a good DC. And they came out of the Fangio era and they hired this guy, and it seemed like they were, rebounding from a defensive perspective. Obviously, they had injuries and just a talent deficiency at cornerback and stuff. But yeah, that's how I would say it. McDermott because of the longevity, Vrabel because I think he's a good coach. Wilkes, because again, longevity, and then Weaver probably 4th.
Dre Correa in the house. He just gifted 5 channel memberships. Boom. If you hear your name called, Dre made you a channel member, so thank him. J-Dubs, Gary the Snail, The Power, David A., and Ocho Nueve. Congratulations to everyone who just got a membership from Dre. How about this super chat here? Maze Cornson. I agree. No way AG is the right coach and we win 4 games this year. Right coach will win 8 to 9 this year. I think there's a path where we feel good about AG and they win 7. But I've said this, the idea that, they can just win 4 or 5 games and all is well. No, the honeymoon on AG will have long worn off by then. This team needs to win games. They paid Garrett. They paid Sauce. You have Quinnen still here. You paid Sherwood. Quincy's here. These guys have been Pro Bowlers. They've been all pros. You have so much invested in your O-line. 2 top 11 picks at tackle. 1st-round pick at guard. High pick at set. If not now, then when can this team actually go out there and win 8 games? We're not asking for the playoffs. We're not asking for the Super Bowl. 8 wins is not unrealistic when the Giants accidentally went 9-7-1 3 years ago with a coach everyone thinks stinks now and a quarterback who can't play in Daniel Jones. So, come on.
We saw a team last season full of talent and void of coaching go 5-12. So now you would assume a little bit less talent, but still talent everywhere. Better coaching. How the hell are you supposed to go down in losses or in wins rather? You're probably going to win anywhere from 5 to 8 games if coaching is good. If the coaching is just okay, it's probably 5. If coaching is decent, it's 6 or 7. If coaching is good, it's 8 or 9. If coaching is great, then we're flirting in territories that Peter Castro likes to flirt in at 11-6. But I'm somewhere at 7 because I do believe this is a good coaching staff, but there's going to be bumps in the road that don't let that fully come out, whether it's quarterback or depth at certain positions, run defense, wide receiver depth, things like that are going to stop it from being a good coaching staff and a good result, in my opinion. So 7 is where I land.
Dylan, it is time to close the polls for the final time in the 2025 Azzy Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, you voted and you determined that the greatest Gorman moment and the winner of the Azzy is the catfishing incident on April 1st, 2025. Congratulations to Charles Gorman. He was going to win no matter what the voters decided. but it is official. The Azzies are in the books. Thank you to everyone who made it so much fun. Congrats to all the Azzy Award winners. And a special shout out to Boomtown for all his hard work putting this together, a committee that assisted with their opinions on the nominees. And don't worry, a little teaser for tomorrow. Gator sent me this. It's not an Azzy Award, but it is something that the community will need to vote on. Which Asmaniac caller needs an intro next? Papa Jet, Barbarossa, Chef Kevin, and Neil. Those are the four. You'll vote tomorrow on either my first show or second show, and you'll determine the mind of Gator and how it will operate to design an Asmaniac intro for one of those great callers. So be on the lookout for that. Before we get to the Justin Fields raffle now, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who has entered and let you know that you have about one more minute if you want a chance to win a Fields jersey. Let's go back to the phones, because on the Gusbuster hotline right now is a man who was so distracted earlier, we didn't get to hear from him. But Dylan, I know you need your fix of the beast, so here you go.
My ass is not a TV. You nut?
Prove your claim that people walked on the moon.
Men don't die for no reason at all.
How does men don't die for no reason prove that people walked on the moon? Your evidence is that you were alive when someone claimed to have walked on the moon.
I was living then, yes.
What does that prove?
I believe in achievement. I believe in a space program.
You believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon. That's your argument?
I believe people didn't lie to us like you.
I believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon?
Gary's ate too many Cocoa Puffs in his heyday, but we're ready. 2 weeks away from now. Get ready for the ride. We're gonna come very hard to August 9th, August 16th. Hey, Giant fans, you want to get punched in the face? I got something for you. A nice boom, 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 boom. Hussa!
Hey, Beast, where's that giant zucchini you had earlier?
Oh, you mean the 4-footer? This big fella right here? This continental missile of a bad boy right here? This thing can, if this was a missile, this would have been dropped all the way in Iran. But unfortunately, I don't think so.
Hey, Beast. Now, you don't have to confirm this, but there was surveillance of you apparently picking up the zucchini at the local supermarket. Can I show it to you?
Are you no, don't fake news me. I don't think so.
Did you steal this from an old lady?
Are you? First of all, I don't wear those crappy shoes. I wear Adidas's, $80 Adidas's that I have that are size 11 and they look real sexy. So please change them shoes. I don't think so. I wouldn't wear crap like that if I was caught shot sight on scene with a freaking Indian head on, going yo, looking like an Indian. No, not an idiot. And I'm
Where's
sorry,
your denim?
I ain't gonna wear that. I don't wear shit like that. Come on, you should know I'm a biker. Come on, bro.
Bikers wear denim.
Beast, what do you say to the people that said that you grew your zucchini way too big and now it's not going to be tasty?
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Who's in the global studio headquarters, Beast? You have a guest?
That's business. Don't worry about it.
What do you mean it's business? Who is it?
We're on business here. Let him in.
Would you mind? Hey, don't make me stop.
I want to meet one of your associates.
In the words of certain people, mind your business.
All right. Well, if you don't tell us who it is, then you leave me with no choice.
Abracadabra.
It was definitely a Hogwarts friend that he didn't want everybody to see and be exposed. So we know for sure who that was. It was a fellow wizard friend.
Makes sense. Dre writes in. Shout out to my Prima. Am I saying that right? Or is it Prima? Prima Genergy. She needs an intro, and 28 Touchdown Island is reopening. Let's go. Let's get excited for football. Dylan, were you a viewer of my show when Dre had 28 Touchdown Island?
I don't think I was, but I remember circling back to it a couple months ago and you playing the clip or something like that of him saying it. Or I know of it, but I was not here for its origin. No.
Yeah, Dre predicted 28 touchdowns for Garrett Wilson last year. He meant to say 28 passing touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers, though. We just got confused, obviously.
But he was right on the money then. Because
Yeah,
he said 28, and that's I'm pretty sure Rodgers ended with exactly 28.
He did.
I mean, he forced 3 or 4 of them in the last game against Miami, but he got there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't sure if this guy was going to call in. We already concluded the Azzy Awards. The top moment in the Gorman Greatest Hits was none other than the catfishing incident. So here to accept his award is...
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Give me some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Sing it this way, Charles!
Hello, Jake. Hello, Dylan.
Hello, Charles.
How are you, Charles?
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys doing?
Congrats on your
I'm
Azzy.
good. Yes.
I'm shaking in my booties.
Can you show us?
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Are you wearing sneakers in your house, Charles?
No, I'm wearing socks.
All right, good.
How's life, Charles? What'd you do today?
Went to Roosevelt's with my brother. I'm going to finish off the second half of my chicken parm sandwich for dinner.
Now, Charles, are you prepared to talk about an incident that happened the other day?
What are you talking about? Oh, where I was dancing outside the Friendlies?
Maybe some nefarious activity happening outside Friendlies. This was sent to me by a listener who wants to remain anonymous. Not that. This. What is going on here, Charles? What are you up to?
I'm just stimming out. I apologize.
Well, what are you apologizing for? There's nothing criminal about these photos.
There's no need to apologize.
It doesn't matter whether or not it's criminal. It's inappropriate behavior.
What is
No, it's
inappropriate?
not.
You're standing outside of Friendlies. I'm completely kidding, Charles. There's nothing inappropriate about this. It's just funny that you're so famous. Someone DM'd me on Twitter pictures of you leaving a Friendlies. That's how big of a name you are.
And I'm glad you were able to, have honesty with us and just say you were stimming. Like that's fine. Like there's plenty of things that people do that when people aren't looking or when people are looking, apparently that,
What's in the fanny pack,
weird.
Charles? What's in the pack? Maybe that's what nefarious is going on in here. What do you have in that fanny pack?
Well, fortunately for you guys, I got it with me.
Fortunately for us.
Thank God. This
My
show wouldn't
wallet.
survive.
Excuse me, my wallet.
Oh, my God.
You couldn't put that in your jeans pocket?
Last time I put it in my jeans pocket, kept falling out, and
Okay, yeah.
Did you hear him burp right there, Dylan?
I did.
an emergency blanket, my college ID that I still.
Wait,
keep
did you
because-
say an emergency blanket?
Yeah, I got an emergency blanket
Wait, what?
Oh, shoot.
For what?
for emergency purposes.
When
What do
would
think
you-
an emergency-
When would you need an emergency blanket, though? I'm not following.
I don't know. In case I go outside, it's pouring rain, I want to sleep.
Why do you? That doesn't make any sense.
Keys to my house, my old college ID that
All
I
right,
still keep.
show us the college ID. We need it. Look at that man. Get closer.
That's you? Wow.
Get
You gotta
closer.
put-
Let's see that
move
face.
it to your left. Move it to
Yep.
your left.
To the left. To your right
Other
now.
left. Your other left, Charles. Your other left, Charles. There you go. Thank you.
How old are you in that?
This was back in what? This was back during the 2012. I was 18 at that time.
Roseanne goes, wow, look at that handsome fellow. I think you're turning on the ladies, Charles. Any thoughts on that?
Feels good to me. If I turn them on, they turn me on. That's all I need to know.
Ladies turn you on?
No comment.
Are we gonna get a sequel to the Charles shaving video? I mean, your face looks a little.
No, we will
unkempt
not.
there. Okay.
That will not happen.
Okay. I'm glad to see your chest hair grew back in too.
Thank you.
Genergy just wrote, wow, I think she's turned on.
Give me your. Wow. I mean, good to know, Jenny.
What?
Good to know.
What?
What was that?
Leanie just called you such a cutie, Charles. We know Leanie's a bit of a cougar.
There you go.
Thank you, Lenny. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing okay.
So what's the latest with this Wegmans job? For those who missed the first show today, Charles called in, said that he had a good conversation
I'm
with
going to
Wegmans.
wait a few days. They told me they'll be reached within a few days. I feel good, man. The phone interview went well. Hopefully I get the job. Hopefully I get a job, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Have you had Wegmans before? They have phenomenal sandwiches there.
I've never had. I mean, I bought at Wegmans, but I never had food from Wegmans, and I've never eaten it there. No.
Well,
a lot of their
Charles,
food is good. All the Chinese bar, the salad bar, all of it's good.
ladies and gentlemen, buckle up for what's about to go down here.
Hello, Charles. Congratulations on your award, Charles. But stop stealing women's hearts. You look too sexy in that ID. You got to keep that in the fanny. Keep it in the fanny pack.
Look, you bat fuck. That's my nickname for you.
That's original.
You get the bitches your way, I get the bitches my way. Is that good enough? Or is that too superstitious and cowardly for you?
It's disgraceful. Charles, keep your sexy ID in your fanny pack.
Someone's
no one
paranoid much.
You have too
Where's
much
the workaround
hormones.
for that?
You have too much testosterone for the world.
My
You can't-
testosterone is equivalent to a Dragon Ball Z power level that exceeds 9,000.
You can't spread it, Charles. Look what you're doing to the women in the chat. Look what you're
Good.
doing.
I'm doing something right.
They're swooning over you, Charles.
Oh, look, someone's jealous. Look, you got fucking money. You get the bitches you want. Shut up and move on.
Charles, this is about you. You need to use your sexiness for good. You can't use it for evil. You
Fine
need
evil.
to use it for good. Don't be a man whore. Do not use these tactics on women, Charles. Charles.
That's not what your mom said last night. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Was that too soon? Was that too soon?
Charles, you know my mom died in the alley. You know she died in the alley with my father. You need to stop.
Well, here's the funny thing. I time traveled, banged your mom in front of your dad. So there's a
And she
possibility
said you
might
have
be-
a small dick, Charles. That's why you need the sexiest ID in the world, because you need to use it for
shit,
evil.
quite the opposite. Shit, my penis was bigger than your father.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I might have a time to leave that call there.
He was doing so well. The women were all in his corner, rallying around Charles, asking to see more of his ID. And then he goes and tells the Bat fellow he bangs his mom, who is dead. So, like, that opens up a lot of mysteries about what Charles is up to.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. But Charles, congrats on your Azzy win. And I'll say this, the best Charles Gorman call hasn't happened yet.
No.
There's more
We
to come.
always think it is. In the moment, this is the best Charles call. And then 2 weeks later, somehow, some way, he improves on his performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost raffle time. But first, Joe M. says time to shave again. Charles, he earns 2 raffle tickets with that comment. Luppy wrote in, fanny packs can't be catfished. That's a good point. Big Country with a super chat. He earns 2 more raffle tickets with this that I'm accounting for. Did he really say he had the blanket just in case it's raining? He needs to take a nap. You lazy. Big Country, well said. And Kyle Clifton with some salient points. The best part of Poopgate is Bobby acting like it's totally normal. That is true.
Yeah, I don't know how any host or anybody on that panel was able to like act normal, especially Bobby. Like, I don't know. I feel like that would have been a moment to not be normal, Bobby.
Yes. Craig in Australia with our last super chat potentially before this raffle. My guys, see y'all stateside in 8 weeks with the whole fam. Craig's coming for Jets games, Yankee games, and American greatness.
Is he
Don't
coming for
worry.
Jets Steelers?
I don't know. Yes, I think he is here for either the Jets or the Bills, or Jets Steelers or Jets Bills. He's at one of them. I don't know which one.
Well, I hope if you're at the Steelers game, Craig, I do hope to meet you. That'd be awesome.
Oh, DT's going to that and Tampa?
I'm going with my cousin is a Steelers fan, so her and I got tickets to week 1. And then I'll actually be tailgating with like Matt, Ryan, Green Bean, that whole crew. And then obviously, Tampa, man. I wasn't going to miss that for the world. Meeting all the great Asmaniacs, getting some Tampa heat in September. That'll be okay. But, we got to dress appropriately in like T-shirts and shorts.
It's well said. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to get the names together. More keep coming in. Tyrone Garcia in for 2. Go Jets. Spencer Green says, get me in the raffle. He's in. I got both of you guys down. Stay with me here. Stay with me. All right. You know what? I could do one more call, Dylan, because a legend is on the line here, and then we will raffle away the Fields jersey and wrap up our outstanding show. Ladies and gentlemen, up next on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is none other. Hold on. Than this guy.
Well, there's a feller they call Charleston Jets rude, 'cause he calls the show nude, never wears a shirt. And some folks, they don't think he's got pants on either. It's a gosh darn nudist camp. Let's hear it for that Charleston Jets rube and see if he has any Jets points today.
Wow. Thanks, Jake. I didn't think my call was going to get taken when you said the last call, a Jet legend. I was like, oh, who's calling in? Is Bonesy calling in? Who's calling
Anyone that calls this show naked as frequently as you do, you're getting on the air.
You got to let the wind flow where it needs to flow. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That I think it's an extra. I haven't been able to watch the shows like real time as much lately, but I think that was an extra Asmaniac Azzy award, correct? With the people that need songs. Was that a last minute put in one?
That is a non-Azzy award. Gator just said, hey, everyone's going to miss having something to vote for. Why don't we do something for the next intro? So you're up for it, Mr. Rube.
No, those are people that need an intro.
Correct. But I'm just saying you're up for you sound excited by it.
Well, I'm saying all 4 of them. I mean, that's going to be a hard one to guess for because they all 4 deserve one, like big time.
100%.
And figures you put me on right after Gorman and the Bat fella. That's kind of pretty hard to come after. But I got a question to pose to both you guys. I love Dylan, and I always appreciate his takes and everything else. Before Brandon Stevens really started looking good here these last few days in training camp, what I've been kind of thinking, and I haven't really said anything. I know that I've been talking about how much I like Arian Smith and how good I think he's going to be. But what do you think? I really think Malachi Moore might be the starting, free safety as far as beginning of the year. But what do you think about our first 5 draft picks being starters by week 10 after the bye? And with Arian Smith, I'm going to put a little caveat. For him being a starter, 11 personnel, because I don't think he's going to move up to if there's 2 wide receivers, unless it's like a 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 12. But assuming 11 personnel, what do you guys think?
Yeah, so the top 5 I'll do first. Membu and Taylor already look like they are first teamers. AZ by week 10 has been kind of my thing. Arian Smith, to your point, in certain situations in 11 personnel, I can see him being used as a primary receiver, in your 11 personnel. If you had, like we talked about earlier with Gary, you have Garrett and Josh Reynolds on the boundary and you want to bring in Arian Smith. So yeah, I would say that's like about a tweener. So we're up to 3. And then you said Malachi Moore. Yeah, he to me is going to be not the starting free safety, but the starting strong safety, in my opinion. Cisco, I think, is going to be the free safety. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3. Taylor, Membu, and Moore are going to be starters before long, right? Membu and Taylor are already there. Moore, you're probably going to see him get more time with the ones in camp. And then by season start, he could be a starter. So you have 3 starters there. AZ by mid-season and Arian in a limited role. Yeah, you're looking at like 3.5, 4.5 starters by the end of the season. And I know in real time in April during the draft, a lot of people didn't like this draft, but when you look at the entire construction of this team, I do think that there's a really strong case that you're right here about the top 5. You're getting a lot of good starting quality players out of this draft.
Sometimes when a lot of rookies have to play, though, that means the team is terrible. So, that's always the thing you want to guard against. But, I mean, Membu is starting. Taylor is starting. Seems like Moore is the big surprise of the rookie class outside the first 2 picks. There's a role for Smith. It's possible. It's not a crazy take. Maybe someone else can emerge, too. That's what the Jets need. They have failed for years to find guys on day 3, especially on offense, that turn out to be real players. They need an Arian Smith to have a good career as a reliable receiver. Because once you pay Garrett, unless you're the Bengals, you're probably not going to spend huge money on another receiver next to him. So you got to do it by finding guys in the draft that are under contract at on a rookie deal. That's the whole key to team building.
Yeah, and I think people laughed at AG when he said it, but he wants to get late-round picks to play like mid-round picks, and he wants to get mid-round picks to play like high draft picks. Malachi Moore could be that very first example of a mid-round pick acting like a top pick, a first or second round pick. So I'm not too surprised if that's what they get out of this class, but I do think that there is an element of that. Yes, if AZ's playing, that means your $12 million corner probably is struggling, and that's not a good allocation of resources. Obviously, Membu and Taylor, you don't want Chuks Okorafor playing right tackle, and we don't want Jeremy Ruckert as tight end 1. So they have a clear path. So I think there is a little bit of a give and take, but also there's positives to take out of your rookies being able to hit the ground running.
Ladies and gentlemen, the last super chats have come through, and then we spin the wheel of champions. Jordo Show says, I'm in for the JF7 jersey. Let's go. Anyone know how Stiggers is doing in camp? I have not heard a whole lot on Quantez Stiggers. I'll be looking for him on Saturday when I'm at camp for the first time. I don't know if you have an opinion on him or not, Dylan, but I haven't heard much.
I would say he has the leg up on JBC, but that's just because I feel like we've heard a slight bit more about Quantez than we have JBC. So one of those guys is probably going to stick on the back end of the cornerback depth chart. I would hope it's Quantez. I know the last regime, again, was very high on him and the whole story of him. But it's tough. When you don't hear a lot about a guy at camp, it's hard to say, okay, is he doing bad? Is he doing well? But it's just flying under the radar. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who sticks on at the back end of the cornerback depth chart. And obviously, you just hope that there's not really many situations where he or JBC has to come onto the field.
Big fella is once again at the buzzer, literally getting himself in this raffle here. We are taking over Tampa LFG. Yep. Big fella is going to be dressed up as the bat fella, I'm hearing. He's going to sweat through that thing down in Tampa.
He's going to be the bat puddle when the game's over. He's just going to be a freaking melted mess. I think it's hilarious that the sections that two of the sections at least that we can buy tickets in are right in front of the ship at Raymond James Stadium. Yeah. Because I keep saying, I'm like, we're sitting in front of that boat, so it might get loud. But at the same time, that boat's not going to go off. That only goes off when the Buccaneers score. So it's going to be a quiet side of the stadium. That ship is not blasting that night.
Shut them down. Shout out to Mario for his super chat here. And then Dre says, Jake, excellent pronunciation. Your Espanol is getting better. Thank you very much, Dre. Oh, man.
Jake's on Duolingo. Don't let him kid you. He knows Spanish.
Yeah, that is definitely not true, but I appreciate it,
I have
Dylan.
a 500-day streak on Duolingo, and I still feel like I can barely speak it. I can, read it and write it, but it's very hard to, speak it. It's I don't know. It's tough.
Really?
Yeah. I've been grinding on my Spanish. I work in construction, dude. There's so many, different groups of Spanish, so many different dialects. I just want to know if they're talking smack.
It's true. But, oh, my goodness. I was about to pull up the Wheel of Champions. I had it right here. And then Luppy's like, wait, I want more entries. 5 gifted memberships at the literal buzzer for the Lump Man.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this
Love
shit.
It. Look at you, Luppy, making Jake do some extra work.
Putting you in 5 times. Manual labor. Spelled Luppy wrong. That's why normally I write it once, then we copy and paste it. A lot happening here. Reshuffle the names. All right. That's it, though. Cut off. Done. Luppy, you are the Rick Kent. Nope, we're not done yet. Rick Kent.
We got to accept Rick Kent.
Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent. I'm going to play this so I can get time to reset. Our first watch party of the year, the Jets and the Giants. We're headed back to T Squared Social, August 16th. It is a 7 p.m. kickoff. 6:30, the party will start. Tickets are just $18. It includes one Friday beer, one green tea shot, and a raffle ticket. We'll do a Jets merch and Jets ticket raffle at halftime of the game. When you get a ticket, you get 5 tickets in our weekly raffle whenever you do it. So lock in your spot. The more people that buy tickets, the more revenue we have to make the raffle at halftime as epic as possible. August 16th. Let's go, baby. Jets, Giants. Jets backups versus Jackson Dart. What's better than that? It's never ending. Rick Kent in for 5. Jenner G just sent in a $20 super chat. I have the ad now playing in a loop in my ear. Dylan, maybe you hear me. Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah, you're good. Okay. I got you.
Yeah. The problem is when I do the screen share, it messes up StreamYard because it's like not able to handle both at the same time. You probably know what I'm talking about. So now Jennergy is getting her name typed out 5 times, and then that's it. If you send in more, as much as I appreciate the channel support, my computer might explode. So I got to do this raffle. Plus, I have plans.
Well, that's not good because I put in the chat to keep spamming because I think this is hilarious.
Oh my God!
Wants to get in on the raffle last minute.
You had 2 hours and 14 minutes to get in on it, and now Charles Gorman, this does not get you in on the raffle. You writing "What's up" with your 19-month Asmaniac membership super chat, but I appreciate it. All right, good luck to everyone. You guys are the greatest. Nate says this ticket is for Craig. You had no ticket, Nate. You had nothing, and Asmaniac super chat does not count. But I appreciate you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck to everybody. One of you is going to win a Fields jersey. And if you win, please reach out to me so we can get it sent to you as quickly as possible. Here we go. The winner of the Fields jersey is Spencer Green. Congratulations to Spencer Green. Now, if you guys remember, Spencer Green was a late ad, not quite as late as some others, but at 6:37 p.m., Dylan, he wrote, "Get me in the raffle," and Spencer Green was added to the raffle. Spencer, email me, AsmanJake@gmail, your address, the size you want the jersey in, and your preferred color, either green or white, and we'll get it ordered for you this week. Dylan, thank you as always for hopping on. We had to have you be a part of the final Azzy Award. Great category for you to be a part of course. Plug your channel, though. We're trying to get you to 1,000 subscribers. You've been doing great with the live content and the pre-recorded stuff. Tell us about the channel. Let's hear all about it.
Yeah, man. I'm actually going live in a couple minutes, probably around like 7:30. I'm going to start breaking down my top 60 Jets player rankings for this season. I'm going to go from player 60 to player 21. I feel like it's unfair to just cut it off at exactly 53. You got to talk about the roster bubble players as well, but I'm not, insane enough to do a full 90-man, roster rankings right now. I don't think we have 90 people even worth doing it. So come check me out at like 7:30ish. I'm going to go live on my channel doing that. And then I have recaps for every day of practice pretty much daily at this point. I'm doing something on my channel once a day, once every other day. We've hit the 500 subscriber mark, but we need to get to 1,000 so that YouTube can start paying me. But also we need to get the watch hours up so I can get the membership, so I can do longer form film room content, draft and Jets players alike. We want the super chats, obviously, so we can get you guys involved in the community. And then I'm hoping eventually soon I can start putting together an order for t-shirts. You guys have seen me wear the t-shirt before, just my logo right in the middle. I'm going to start putting out hopefully orders for that soon. Jake, yours will be on the way for being such a huge support. So at Dylan Tereman on YouTube, just the full name right here. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. I appreciate it. And I hope to see a lot of you guys at like 7:30ish. It's going to be like 7:20, 7:30. I've got to make another pot of coffee, use the bathroom, do all those things. And I'll be right with you guys for ranking 60 through 21. So we're going to be talking about 40 guys on the roster this episode. and it's going to, you know, go into the 53-man roster projection, but we had to start at a baseline of ranking the players first.
Love it. Everyone, I pinned the link for Dylan's channel, so go subscribe right now. Help him out. Dylan's the man. He does a great job. All right. That does it. Again, thanks to the committee. Thanks to Boomtown for making the Azzy Award so much fun. 2 shows tomorrow is still my plan. I am going to be doing radio from 1 to 3, so I'm moving up the start time of our first show to 9 a.m. tomorrow. Then you can listen to me on ESPN New York from 1 to 3, and then I'll be back in the afternoon for our second show. That is at least the tentative plan. Check the Discord for daily updates. And I'm in for Michael K again on Friday, so 9 a.m. will be the start time for Friday's first show as well. Thanks again to Dylan Tereman, for being part of this crazy operation we have here. Again, congrats to the Asmaniacs on an awesome Azzy Awards. And I end the show by playing a clip in honor of Charles Gorman. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, and if you have small children around, cover their eyes. Go Jets.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Bobby and Charles are damn sexy. Damn sexy. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party. Let's Bobby and Charles are hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.